affect us, cuz. It's not about nobody but us. Let's play a full 60-minute ball game. Let's go ahead and play with emotion. Let's go ahead and play with enthusiasm. Let's go ahead and hit, stick, and put
Familiar faces on this Thanksgiving Day, a holiday for 30 years that has featured the Dallas Cowboys. Most tradition Dallas to the NFL table, and Cowboy stars Troy Aikman, Michael Irvin, and Emmitt Smith have, well, gobbled up the opposition. Add to the formula Deion Sanders and Coach Barry Switzer, and you have Super Bowl successes, and it's made for must-see TV in the 90s, for even the most casual of football fans. But here in 97, let's not forget the opposition.
Hey, listen up! Listen up! We got a little uphill climb, that's all! We're going to stay with the plan. Just play your game, guys! Play your game!
The Oilers are trying to ruffle the roost. The Tennessee Oilers, that is. I know it's tough to get used to. They're young and they're talented, with Steve McNair at quarterback and running back Eddie George, and their record is just as good as the Cowboys. So grab a place at the table. It's the Oilers and the Cowboys. The winner today will have fans still talking playoffs. The meaningful number is 4. 4 games to play, and each of these teams know to make the playoffs, they need to win all 4. For the Tennessee Oilers, they feel that this could be their year. They're very enthusiastic. The Cowboys are down and even in more of a slump at the moment because they've learned that Troy Aikman, injured in the pregame warm-ups. He's had a bad back most of the season, had to leave the field, went to the training room with a report on whether or not he'll start. Let's go now to Jim Gray.
All right, thank you very much, Dick. Well, the word from Jerry Jones, who just came out of the locker room, is that Troy Aikman will not start. They are still working on his back. About 30 minutes ago, just almost out of nowhere, he looked like he was in complete and total pain, and he walked off the field, and I asked him what was bothering him. He said he was having terrible back spasms. There are a battery of trainers and doctors who are working on him right now. Jerry Jones is hopeful that he will be able to play, but Wade Wilson will start, and right now, Troy Aikman is laying down, being worked on in the locker room with some very bad back spasms. Dick?
Well, as you know, in past history, the Cowboys have done well with backup reserve quarterbacks. They've won with Clint Longley and with Jason Garrett. We'll see how Wade Wilson does. How does this impact their game plan?
Well, it's got to change their game plan. The Cowboys all year long have had trouble scoring, and this week they were so excited about what they could do on offense. The Oilers secondary is beat up. It's young. They wanted to go down the field, make some big plays, score some points. Now Wade Wilson stepping in. You have to think they'll be more conservative, see a lot more of Emmitt Smith early in the game.
And the Oilers, what's their game plan?
That doesn't change. They run the ball more than anybody in the National Football League. Eddie George will be running the ball. Aaron McNair will be throwing the ball. Defensively, they really don't. A short week, they don't have time to make any changes. They're going to play the same way today.
And the Oilers have won 5 of their last 7 games, and their confidence is building as we present our Thanksgiving football table from Texas.
During warm-up, he had back spasms. He's had this problem, and he's in the locker room right now, and they're trying to loosen him up to give him muscle relaxers.
Are you hopeful they'll be able to play, or do you think you'll have to go with Wade the whole game?
I hope they. We don't know. We'll just have to wait and see.
Barry, thank you. When we have some more, we'll get back up to you guys. Dick?
All right, Jim, thank you. Toby Goen will kick it off for the Cowboys as the Oilers will get it first, and Rodney Thomas and Mike Archie are back for this young Oilers team. They've made some changes even in the past couple of weeks. Veterans Mel Gray and Ronnie Harmon released to bring more youth off the practice squad. They're eager. A lot at stake. The loser all but gives up any hopes of the playoffs. It may take 4 in a row to get in at 10-6. Goen hits it to Thomas at the 1. Rodney Thomas from Texas A&M brought down at the 23-yard line. On comes Steve McNair. 8 years old when Wade Wilson started his first NFL game as McNair, now 24 out of Alcorn State, 11 touchdowns, 11 interceptions, but he's run for almost 500 yards. And here's the offensive line, anchored by the veteran Bruce Matthews, a 9-time Pro Bowler, Hopkins, Matthews, Stepnoski, a former Cowboy, Donnelly, and Runyon. In the backfield starting, Eddie George, 5th in the league in rushing. Frank Wycheck, favorite receiver of McNair at H-back. Sanders and Davis outside, and Rod Lewis, the tight end. McNair swings it to George in the flat. Brock Marion comes up to make the tackle for a loss. Marion, who leads the Cowboys in tackles this year. And here are the men from Dallas on defense: Tolbert, Casillas, Hennings, and Carver on the front line. The backers are Godfrey, Strickland, and the rookie from Appalachian State, Dexter Coakley. And that terrific back four, they're number 1 in the league in pass defense: Smith, Sanders, Stoutmeyer for the injured Darren Woodson, and Brock Marion. 2nd down, 11. Willie Davis in motion. And the give to George up the middle. And he fights for about 5 as the push takes him out to the 26-yard line. Dexter Coakley down at the bottom of the pile.
Well, it's obvious for Tennessee what they're going to do in a game plan. They run the ball more than anybody in National Football League. Phil, it's 2nd down and long. They run the football.
Well, they should. The Cowboys have had trouble. They're small up front. They get beat with the run sometimes. But the Cowboys today, what they want to do on defense to stop the Oiler passing game when they do throw, contain Steve McNair. Don't let him run around and create big plays with the scrambling, throwing the ball down the field.
Eddie George is out. Rodney Thomas in as they go to 3 wides. 3rd and 6. On the roll, McNair fires complete to Chris Sanders, and a 1st down for the Oilers at the 42-yard line. 15 on the play. Kevin Mathis covering.
Good job by the Oilers. This is something they love to do. They love to move the pocket. Chris Sanders coming in motion. This way he gets a little space between him and the defensive back, who is Mathis. Goes down, gets a little push off. Steve McNair does an excellent job of throwing the ball on the run. Safe way to start a game for a young offense and a young quarterback.
A move by Sanders that Michael Irvin would have been proud of.
Yeah, that's right.
It looks like the officials are going to let him play football today.
That's Wycheck, the leading receiver in motion, and the handoff to George back in the game, and he slithers out across the 45-yard line. Eddie George, the Heisman winner from Ohio State a couple of years ago, grew up in Philadelphia, big Eagles fan. He said, not tough for me to want to play hard against the Cowboys. 6 wins, what a factor, 122 yards rushing in the 6 losses, almost half that output.
Well, he's a power runner. We asked him yesterday, where would you like to run the football, outside, inside? He says, hey, up the gut. That's where I'm most effective, running inside those tackles and being powerful.
Joey Kent, the rookie from Tennessee, in motion. 2nd down, 6. George finds a crease and picks up about 5 yards to midfield. He'll be short by about 1.5 yards of a 1st down. And Wade Wilson, the veteran, waits his turn as Wilson, who has thrown only 1 touchdown pass in the last 4 years. He's 11 for 18 this year, mostly in cleanup work for Aikman. He did appear in the Philadelphia game when Aikman went out in the 1st half with a concussion.
Well, Wade Wilson's, his heartbeat tripled about 20 minutes ago. He was nice and relaxed. Paul, you saw him yesterday. He was having a good time.
Oh, yesterday, walked around bare feet. Everybody on the back, hey, how you doing? Have a nice game tomorrow. Now he's got to play.
George's knee down at the 48, so it's 3rd and 3. Rodney Thomas, and he's belted down, I believe, short of the 1st down by Charlie Williams.
He's going to be short about 6 inches, but I'll tell you, I like the call. Even though Eddie George is out of the ball game, they ran the football.
And they're going to run it on 4th and 1, too.
Well, that's one of the reasons why you run it on 3rd and 3, because if you don't get it and you get close enough, the coach has already made his mind up. We're going to go for it. Not many teams in this league are going to line up on 3rd and 3 and run the football. The Oilers are one of them.
Well, the other thing, too, is even with Wade Wilson as a quarterback, you still don't want to give them the ball many times.
Jeff Fisher makes the call, the youngest coach in the league at 39. 4th and less than 1 yard. And McNair does not get much of a push. Tony Casillas met him face mask the face mask, but they got a good spot.
Well, initially they stopped his progress, but the pile kept moving, and he finally fell forward.
Well, I'll tell you what, the line judge on the other side of the field, Dick, it's almost like it had stopped his forward progress, and he started to run in, and then they allowed the ball to go forward. I thought that the official on the top side, watch the official up on the top side. When this ball, watch where this ball, now watch this. See him coming in now? He's coming in. It's like, but he didn't blow a whistle. It's not blowing the play dead, but he was coming in like it was stopped.
Well, it's going to be an interesting measurement. You've never missed one in the dressing room, and at least able to jog. That's a good sign.
It's going to be about an inch and a half short.
Ooh.
It's Thanksgiving Day. Give this one to me, please.
It was a half an inch short. You're not even close. Not even close, Paul.
So the Cowboys take over on downs at the 49. No score. 4.5 minutes gone. Opening quarter.
Back at Texas Stadium, I'm Jim Gray. Troy Aikman is on the field. He just ran out. I talked to him. He said his back is tight. It's sore. He says it's absolutely killing me. I asked him if he thought he was going to be able to make it through the entire game. He said probably not. I have absolutely no mobility, but he completes his first pass to Emmitt Smith. Dick?
All right, Jim, and Emmitt Smith passes out of bounds with a 3-yard gain at the 48-yard line of the Oilers. Joe Bowden there to push him out.
Well, Troy Aikman, I was watching him in warm-ups today. As he was going back in warm-ups, he kind of caught his foot on the turf, and then he doubled over in pain because of his back. But right there, he didn't look too stiff. Of course, he's going to be a little safe at first. Guys could be wide open down the field. I don't know if he's going to throw it. Throw those safe passes until you get loose.
2nd and 7. Emmitt Smith, who's had some big Thanksgiving days, but he is buried by Anthony Cook after maybe a yard gain. Here are the Cowboys offensively with Hageman for the injured Mark Tuanay, Newton, Shiver, Larry Allen, a Pro Bowl year, and Eric Williams. Backfield with Aikman, Emmitt Smith, and Herschel Walker for the injured Darrell Johnston, out for the year with a neck injury. Michael Irvin and Anthony Miller outside with Eric Bjornsson, the tight end. 3rd and 6. Aikman well under his career percentage of nearly 64% this year. Back to throw. He needs 6 for the first down, and it's intercepted on the run. Could be a touchdown. It's Marcus Robertson. Aikman gets him out of bounds, and what an effort by the sore-back quarterback to cut off the angle and deny the 6.
You know, this will loosen up your back chasing the defensive back with the ball.
Well, his back didn't have anything to do with that throw. It looks like the receiver is going to be wide open. I can see it from up here. Troy Aikman sees the same thing. He throws the ball, but what happens? Marcus Robinson, the safety, does a good job of anticipating, watching Troy Aikman, who looked left the whole time, and makes the interception. And Troy Aikman, good effort, back's hurting, still gets down there and makes the tackle.
Well, that part right there will loosen your back up after the interception, chasing him down, knocking him out of bounds. That's pure hustle.
Robertson's 5th interception of the year to lead the Oilers. Only the 7th pick from Aikman all season. It's 1st and 10. The ball just outside the 10-yard line. Eddie George, play action fake. The throw complete to the tight end Rod Lewis, and Lewis inside the 5-yard line, met by Kevin Smith. Let's go back to Robertson's interception.
Well, it's all about reading the quarterback's eyes. Marcus Robertson way back here. Here's the Dallas receiver, comes up the field. Watch the ground he covers by just watching the quarterback. He's deep middle. He sees Aikman look left. Well, that's anticipation. Good job by Robertson making a break on the football.
And with picking that off almost on the dead run, you thought he would even outrun Aikman. Aikman did a terrific job in cutting off the angle. And the injured Oiler is the veteran Bruce Matthews, who has been indestructible in his incredible 15-year career since his All-America days at Southern California. 9 times a Pro Bowler. Doesn't matter where you put him on that offensive line, he's a star.
Well, 6 times he was a Pro Bowler at guard, and then 3 times at center, so that's pretty good. You look at him here, the number of games he's played.
Looks like he's got a cut on his forehead.
So they attend to the veteran Bruce Matthews, the anchor of that Oiler line. We'll return in a moment.
Matthews, number 74, gets a cut to his forehead. Watch his helmet. Chad Henning's helmet hits his face mask, knocks it off. Got the cut, but he should be back.
2nd down and 3. They can make a first down without a touchdown. Eddie George hit hard. Second effort. Turns for an extra yard and is close to the 1. And that's one of the strengths of George. He makes yards after the hit as they work on Bruce Matthews.
Yeah, but when you look at contact, now watch how you fill a hole. Here comes Eddie George inside, but watch this hit. He is stopped right there. He gets about a half a yard, and that's about all. Smith is the man that hit him. Vincent Smith. Here it comes. Watch this. Eddie George comes up.
Oh,
Tony Casillas is there. Smith, 57, is there. What a play.
And Casillas is injured on the play.
What a run. It kind of tells you what the Oilers are about. Sometimes it's not pretty when you watch them play, but they're going to run that ball hard inside.
Well, you know, the one thing that Jeff Fisher told us yesterday, the last thing he said to us as he walked out of the meeting, he says, I will guarantee you we will play tough and hard tomorrow.
He says we will be physical, and they do it on both sides of the ball, and one of the reasons why they're 6-6.
And I put the patch on Matthews. He'll return. And we remind you to follow the NFL online at msnbcsports.com. So many great running backs in the league today. We decided to see who's best. NBC's own Jim Mora will share his thoughts, and then you can vote for who you think is the league's best running back. Casillas on his feet.
Casillas said, yeah, he is bigger than I thought.
George is 6'3" and nearly 240 pounds.
You know, we're talking to George and Chris Sanders yesterday about Ohio State. How did these guys ever lose a football game?
Well, Paul, they don't. It's not like they lose a lot of them up there. They lose like one a year is like an upset.
Well, what do you think of the skill positions that Joey Galloway and Ricky Dudley at the tight end? They had Chris Sanders. They had Eddie George.
Terry Glenn was there with them. Quarterback Bobby Hoyne had a good week this past week.
Man,
that's a pretty good lineman too, you know.
Corey Stringer, offense, first round. Orlando Pace, a first rounder.
Just keep going. You'll get him.
I don't Springs at a corner.
I don't have much time to keep naming them.
Now here's the measurement for first down, either first and goal or third and that much. Third down and almost a full yard.
They have to almost touch the goal line with it, Dick. I mean, I think in order to get a first down, you have to get a touchdown.
So McNair sticks his head in the huddle.
Sounds good, but it really
Dick, did you hear that? For them to get a first down, they got to score a touchdown.
I'm serious. If they get a first down, it'll be a touchdown, is what I wanted to say. Thank you, Philip.
You're starting to understand him as a third year, huh?
That's scary.
It's George. Flag is down. Fred Strickland, the middle linebacker, first to make contact. George, a big, serious-looking man in uniform, but he is the team's prankster and jokester.
Defense offside, so that'll give him another shot at it. Now you get a half the distance to the half the distance.
Now does your theory still work here, though? They got to score a touchdown to be able to get a first down?
I would think so.
Good.
Well, you know, guys, what happens there?
If you look at where the marker is, it's right on the goal line. I mean, there's only about a half an inch.
What happens in situations like that? You're so close to the goal line. Everybody's so pumped up, the image, and they just line up off sides.
They're crowding it because they know Eddie George is going to carry the ball. Look at these guys. You can see right there the helmet is over the ball. That's offside. The other thing, I was kind of disappointed in Eddie George on the run, though, Phil. When you're this close, you've just got to blow it in there. You can't hesitate. He went up, stopped, and tried to make a move to his left. It didn't work.
Well, that's one thing he was telling us yesterday. He's learned in this league, the pro league, he says, you don't have time for maybe just one move because the holes, they close up fast. He says in college, you could make a couple moves and still hit that hole. But here, you got to make a decision and hit it up in there.
They need a foot for a first down and a foot and a couple inches for the touchdown. Third and goal. Third and one. Looked as if he had a hole, but somebody got him down low and he stumbled. Fred Strickland, the middle backer, able to submarine and stop the play.
This is a classy example of the defense beating the offense to the ball. And I mean they beat him there. This defense just lined up and took off. It's going to be fourth down, and I wouldn't be surprised if they go for it.
Well, the Cowboys, they do a good job. What you do down near the goal line, you saw the defensive lineman submarine underneath the offensive lineman.
But you know the problem with this, look where this ball is, yeah, but he slipped in the backfield. He tripped in the backfield, but that ball is almost back to the 1-yard line. They really gave him a decent mark on this ball, but they still don't have it. And it's 4th down, and they're going to go.
2 quarterback sneaks. Steve McNair both times been a little too fast with them. Let the separation be created with your offensive line. Pick your hole and then jump through it.
Well, he gambled at midfield, did young Jeff Fisher, and lost the ball on downs to Dallas at the 49. He gambles again here on the goal line. 4th and that much.
I'll tell you one thing, they're not leaving anything in the playbook. They're going to throw it all at him.
Frank Wycheck, a favorite receiver, lines up in the backfield. McNair on the roll to throw. Touchdown. It's to Eric Norgaard, who was an eligible receiver. Norgaard, a guard, 6'1", 289 from Colorado, and I believe that is his first ever catch, and he has a touchdown.
Well, they lined up in a formation that almost told the defense, we are not going to run it. You bring the tight end back in the backfield. You put Eddie George to the side. It's not going to be a power run up the middle, but still the Dallas Cowboys play run. Of course, I don't know if anybody would cover a backup offensive guard.
I mean, when you think about the play this call, if you're going to throw to anybody, you're going to throw to a guard, a backup guard.
Yeah,
he's got great hands. You know how long he's going to tell these players about his hands and how good his hands are?
When he's writing a novel, that might be a chapter right there.
Well, surprise is a great thing, and that, no matter what defense, what you're expecting, you do not expect to play like that in that situation.
Understand, officially, that play was 4th and 1 from the 2. So we'll have to figure out what that's a 1 or 2 yard touchdown.
Paul's doing the math.
There. For point, and the Tennessee Oilers jump to a 7-0 lead. Marcus Robertson's 49-yard interception sets up McNair to Norgaard. It's his 2nd catch, and both of those for touchdowns. So he knows how to do it. Look at this. Look at the hands on this big man from Colorado. So Troy Aikman does start, suffers an interception right off the get-go. Nothing Oilers as Steve McNair, Aaron McNair was 4 for 4 after the interception by Robertson and led to the touchdown 2 yards to Eric Norgaard. And now Del Greco to kick it off. Herschel Walker, ever dangerous, and Brock Marion deep for the Cowboys. Short and on the run, Walker at the 15. Has a little crease to the 35, to the 42. Good field position for Aikman and the Cowboys. Del Greco made the tackle.
Well, let's watch Eric Norgaard, that shifty wide receiver. Here he is. Omar Stoutmire, the defensive back, has him in coverage. He's thinking run. It's a pretty good sell by the big guy. He acts like he's blocking. Then he sneaks out. But what really happens if you're playing defense, you see Steve McNair in this situation, fake, roll out. You've got to come up, play the quarterback, try to stop him from scoring. That leaves the receiver open for the touchdown.
Yeah, it's a young coach, the enters the league with a very young team, and there certainly is an abundance of enthusiasm on that Oilers sideline. Aikman down the middle, incomplete, intended for Anthony Miller. And Aikman drilled as he released the ball by Kenny Holmes. Holmes getting a start today and leads the team in sacks with 7 from Miami, the rookie.
You see Kenny Holmes, I mean, this guy, they talk about his speed. And when we asked the linebacker, Baron Wortham, who is the best defensive lineman, he said one against the run would be Henry Ford, number 92. He said, but against the pass, Kenny Holmes. He deserves the right to start.
Aikman to throw again. Underneath, Evan Smith. And Smith brought down at the 50, a yard and a half shy of the first down. It'll be 3rd down for the Cowboys. Holmes and Bowden the tackle. And here are the Oilers from Houston to Nashville and now playing in Memphis. Cook, Walker, Ford, and we've met Kenny Holmes on the front four. Bowden, Wortham, who leads in tackles. Martz are the backers. Walker, a rookie from LSU, starts with Darrell Lewis at the other corner. Bishop and Robertson. Robertson with the interception at safety. Typical, the back four normally starting. Lewis is 28, Robertson 28, Bishop 27, and Steve Jackson 28. Very experienced, but in the prime of their careers. Third and a yard and a half, and down goes Aikman on the blitz. As Lane Bishop, Pro Bowler the last 2 years, shoots through.
Perfect timing, Phil.
Well, that's right, Paul. Blitzing, it's all about timing. That way you catch the offense off guard. The Dallas Cowboys, Troy Aikman admit to us yesterday they have not done a good job. Blaine Bishop coming through on the blitz. You can see the blitz on the outside. Not enough guys there to pick it up. Cowboys all year have struggled picking up blitzes on third down. Expect to see the Oilers doing that today.
Derek Mason at the other end as Toby going to punt. This does get it away, and a flag goes down. That'll be a first down. And the ball kicks out of bounds at the 25-yard line. Running into the kicker's 5 yards, and they hold on with a sack. That pushed them back out of that range. But he's going to call that a personal foul, and that carries an automatic first down. Spencer George just activated off the practice squad a couple of games ago. Number 35. Was he blocked into it?
You know, that's the problem. Now, it's a determination. It's a judgment call. Now, watch him. Is he being blocked from the back? No, he's around. The blocker is not there to block him from the back.
On the defense, number 35. 5 yards, still fourth down.
Yeah, it's only a 5-yard penalty running into the kicker. But just take a look at it here. He's down on the ground, and he just rolls up on him. But, you know, I'll tell you how dangerous that really is.
That is.
You get the kicker's leg. He's got one up in the air. The other one's flat on the ground. And that's how these guys get hurt now. Russ Purnell can't be too upset because they don't get a first down. They're going to have to punt anyway.
So going to kick again. Rookie free agent from North Texas State, Tim Mason, who played his college football at Michigan State. He stands at the 11. Beautiful spiral, maybe too good. Mason lets it go. Takes a Dallas bounce, and will be down by Billy Davis at the 8-yard line. 46-yard kick, no return. 44 left in the first quarter. Michael Irvin coming over to probably express what all the Cowboys feel about Troy Aikman.
Well, I know the Cowboy players, they have to appreciate the courage he is showing today. He's going out there trying to do it for the team because there's no tomorrows for the Dallas Cowboys.
Eddie George slashes out across the 15-yard line on first down, and a good pickup before Brock Marion can make the stop.
Can I say one other thing about Aikman? Can I ask you a question? Who takes him out? Does he take himself out? I mean, and when does it come to a point do you say, I can't play?
Well, I think they're going to find that out here soon. I don't think it'll go midway to halftime before he makes this decision. They're going to see if he can't perform to a level that's good enough to give them a chance to win, then they'll take him out.
See the comparisons. He's already shown he can run. He chased down Robertson. He's shown he can take a pretty good hit on the sack. George stumbles and maybe shy of the first down by a yard.
Well, Eddie George is trying on that last play, Dick, is trying to make an extra move instead of trying to go to the hole. The hole was supposed to be right in front of him. It wasn't there, so he tried to make a move, and his feet just went out. Eddie George is a great runner. He told us yesterday there aren't any moves but one. I make one move and I go. Here he comes up the line of scrimmage. Now watch. The hole he sees is not there. Now he's going to try and make a move, and his legs just gave out.
That's twice he's had trouble. Remember down the goal line he slipped as well. 3rd and 1. George again. To the 32, 22, and a first down as Omar Stoutmire made the hit.
Hey, Dick, Sims just felt that one up here.
Oh, boy. Omar's not that big of a guy, and he's sticking it in there.
You see, amongst the leading rushers, 5th best is George, averaging nearly 94 yards a game. Terrell Davis of Denver, and I guess Barry Sanders had a huge game in the big win 55-20 by the Lions that preceded this contest. They're 1-2 in the league in rushing. But George in high company. Play action, McNair. Good block, picks up a run. Downfield and incomplete through the hands of Lewis, and also Willie Davis had his mitts on it.
Well, I'll tell you, they've been running the ball so well so far in this game. One of the reasons why Steve McNair, he's back there. He moves out of the pocket all day to throw the football, but Overthrows it just a little bit. Kind of fortunate. Could have been trouble. But again, the Oilers are trying to pick their spots to throw the football, not take the big gambles.
Well, you said, you know, you mentioned Lewis. I don't think the ball was to Lewis. To you?
No, it was to the tight end.
That was Lewis, but it was Willie Davis that got his hands on it. And McNair has to burn a timeout here. Confusion and running out of clock time with 3:46 left in this opening quarter, and the Oilers leading 7-0. Troy Aikman waiting for his chance as we look at the Oilers play selection on the year. 56% of the time they run the ball more than anyone in the league. Pittsburgh, San Francisco are next, then Tampa Bay and Denver. They're the only 5 teams that run it more than pass it in the entire NFL. Rodney Thomas in the backfield, 2nd and 10. McNair over the middle, almost intercepted. Kevin Smith had his hands on it.
Well, we're kind of seeing one of the reasons why the Oilers like to run the football. They don't drop back and pass very often. Steve McNair, young quarterback. They don't like to take the chances in throwing it. Dallas does have a good secondary. The receivers are covered, but you know what? He still takes that chance, and he's lucky it's not intercepted.
Well, I know, and he's throwing it where all the receivers are. All the receivers on the right-hand side, they're just staying away from Deion Sanders. Third and 10. And they run it. Rodney Thomas. And Thomas is buried at the 25-yard line, and on comes the punting team for the Oilers. You know,
No chance now this week of seeing it.
He's got a touchdown on a punt return, and he said, I'm looking forward to Reggie Roby because he likes to kick it as high and far as he can. That might give me a chance to find some room.
Now, Reggie Roby's been out here for an hour and a half before the game practicing punting to the sidelines, and he does it.
Beautiful spiral. Room for Sanders from the 22. 32. Crumbles the ball, and it goes out of bounds. Dallas maintains possession at the 34. Terry Killens, number 50, made the tackle, forced the fumble.
Now, Paul, before the game, I watched Reggie Roby. He stood in the middle on the 50-yard line and kicked every single ball to the sideline.
Well, I'm going to tell you, Deion's getting up, and he's hurt.
He's holding his right rib cage.
Number 26, Stewart, is hurt for Houston, for Tennessee. I knew that's how we had to be the person.
Almost got through the first quarter.
Here comes Deion now. Killens, number 50, is the guy that's going to tackle him from behind and knock the ball out. Here comes number 50 in here. Look at this. The ball comes out. Killens, I think, just landed on Deion and knocked the wind out of him. But the one thing that you were talking about, Reggie Roby, Jeff Fisher told us yesterday he's going to kick to the paint.
To the paint, to the sideline.
It's the sideline. And the first kick out of the box, he kicks the ball straight up in the air, straight down the middle of the field.
So what are you telling me?
Somebody ain't listening.
Yeah.
Somebody's not listening.
Cowboys take over at their 32. Aikman on the toss to Smith. And Emmitt Smith for 3 yards to the 35-yard line. Well, Paul has been around the Houston Oilers since the inception in 1960 when he was playing, but he's not the only one that has having trouble replacing Houston with Tennessee. The game ticket, the network credentials. I mean, and they live in Texas, these folks are the Dallas Cowboys.
You know what really makes me mad is I got a big old sign up here, and I for 11 years that I played against the Houston Oilers, and there's a big sign we have here, Tennessee Oilers.
I think they'll probably change that nickname in a couple of years as they move into their new stadium, and not next year, but in 1999 in Nashville. Aikman throws. It's intercepted again. Darrell Lewis. And Lewis has a run to the 1-yard touchdown. They call it a touchdown. Now they've changed and marked it at the 1. One official signal touchdown, and Mike Carey, the referee, raced over and marked it at the 1.
Kenny Holmes did a wonderful job just hanging on to Herschel Walker, and there was no place to throw the ball.
Watch Herschel Walker coming out of the backfield. He's to your left, and Paul, you're right. Kenny Holmes does a good job, shows some discipline, stays right with him, jumps, tips the ball.
And Darrell Lewis
takes it off.
Boy, you know, they talked about Kenny Holmes, 7 sacks coming into the ball game. The pass rusher, the guy that they said deserves a chance to play. One time he put pressure on Aikman. Now here it is. Is he in? Well, I think what they're looking at is where his knee went down before the ball.
Before he stretched out.
Yeah, before he stretched out. It's the knee. The knee goes down, but the ball is when the knee goes down. It was not over the goal line.
The Cowboys, Troy Aikman's back hurt, so they're trying to be conservative. They throw a screen play. You think that's got to be safe. Houston being smart, disciplined, disruptive.
Tennessee.
Did I say Houston?
You said you would never.
I said I would never do that today.
My turn. Now I feel better.
I only got a half a Hugh out. I got Hugh.
So Lewis just a foot away from a touchdown. McNair throws into the flat, incomplete. Intended for Frank Wycheck. McNair hit as he threw the ball.
Randall Godfrey, Roderick Thomas, both coming from the outside. Hey, the heck with that run, they're saying. They're playing, going to the quarterback. Steve McNair, the receiver's wide open, doesn't have the time to throw it to him.
Wycheck, who leads the Oilers with 48 catches this year, running back at Maryland.
Run the football.
George deep at the tailback spot. Wycheck goes in motion. Offside contact. Was it induced by the offensive line of the Oilers?
No, it's on the defense. I tell you, because normally I would say defense because the defensive guys are usually stand up and point, and no one stood up to point.
Encroachment by the defense, the nose tackle.
So you got to know about those pointers, right?
Well, yeah. I mean, there's always a guy when he goes offside. I mean, Phil, 99% of the time he's going to point to someone. That's his fault, not my fault.
Paul, they all lie out there. You know, they're always pointing at the other guys. You can never. Well, you can't take the.
Now, see, that's offside.
Tony Casillas, number 75, jumps off sides. Dave Campo, the defensive coordinator, very concerned about his defensive front getting overpowered by the Tennessee Oilers offensive line.
McNair vaults over the goal line for the touchdown. And Steve McNair has his 6th rushing touchdown of the year. That one from just inches off the goal line. So 2 interceptions, both almost returned for touchdowns. Robertson, 49 yards to the 10. Then Darrell Lewis, 34 yards to the 1-foot line. And the Oilers lead by 2 touchdowns.
But he did one thing that you say that, you know, that you would rather see a quarterback do. Hesitate. Watch McNair. He just takes it up over the top. He gets a touchdown. But on the other 2 tries, on first downs, Phil, he went right in there instead of just pause a second. Let your offensive line create something for you and then go over the top.
Greco adds the extra point, and it is 14-0. So 2 big interceptions by the men who formerly played in Houston. The Tennessee Oilers lead 14-0. And McNair continues to produce both through the air and on the ground. Well, coming in today, the Oilers defense had scored 3 touchdowns, almost 2 today. Week 9 against the Cardinals. Rookie Denard Walker intercepts Jake Plummer, 39-yard touchdown. Week 10, Jacksonville, Darrell Lewis, 47 yards for this interception return. And last week against Buffalo, the Bills' opening possession ended when Marcus Robertson scooped up a Thurman Thomas fumble, returned it 25 yards for a touchdown. And not a good sign. Deion Sanders leaving the field. Jim Gray, what's the story?
Well, we're walking here with Deion. It's his left rib cage is bothering him. They're going in right now to take some x-rays. He's having some trouble breathing. He doesn't know if he'll be able to return. And when we have some more information after the x-rays, we'll come on back down. Dick?
Well, that's bad news for the Cowboys. They're already without Darren Woodson. He's inactive today. Their Pro Bowl safety, and now to lose the All-Pro Sanders in the back 4, a secondary that leads the league. They're the #1 defense against the pass in the NFL. Herschel Walker back, and now the Cowboys need something big to strike. 14-0 early. Walker at the 4. To the 28-yard line.
Can I ask a question? Let's go back just the fact that Deion goes off, Phil. If he goes off, does that change the offense for Houston or for Tennessee?
I would think they're going to stay with what they've been doing all day long, Paul. So far, you're ahead. You shouldn't change. Keep running the football. Okay.
Well, the Cowboys will begin at the 28-yard line. This is their 4th possession, 2 interceptions and a punt. And one wonders if the Oilers are figuring that with a bad back that Aikman can't go really long, so they're cheating a bit.
Well, the Oilers They wanted to lose today if they were going to by the running game of the Dallas Cowboys. Now that you're ahead, there's no reason to take any chances with your safeties coming up in there to stop the run. Stop these wide receivers. Don't give up the big pass plays.
Emmitt Smith, who needed only 59 yards today for his 7th consecutive 1,000-yard season, and Emmitt thus far with 3 carries and 8 yards.
It's kind of amazing. We talked to both of these teams yesterday. The Cowboys, really, I found them down. The Oilers, I've never been around a more upbeat group of guys and a coach in the years I've been doing in this business.
2nd down and 6. Smith again. Draws a crowd and eats a loss as Kenny Holmes, who's been all over the field, this rookie from Miami of Florida, #1 draft pick, is he playing big?
Well, he is. You know, they talk about this guy. Here's the guy, their pass rusher, right? 7 sacks coming into the game. Now watch him against the run, number 99. He fights off the block. Here goes Emmitt. Emmitt thinks I'm going to turn upfield.
Well, he's so excited. First start, he's running around there. If it moves, he's going to run to it and make the hit today.
That's part of the excitement to repeat again. As you look at Holmes among rookies, only 13 Oilers of 53 have ever been on national television. This is a big game for these young guys. Aikman overshoots his man Bjornsson. Eric Bjornsson, the tight end, and the struggling start brings out the Bluebirds.
Well, this is a pretty good sign that maybe it's just not going to work for Troy Aikman today. This is a simple throw. He gets a lot of body into it. He moves his feet. He does everything he can do to get the ball to go forward, and he still overthrows the receiver, who's only about 7 or 8 or 10 yards away from him. Dips underneath it. The ball goes straight up in the air.
He's thrown 6 passes, completed 2, and intercepted twice. Derek Mason back as Goins punt from the 20. Beautiful spiral. Chases Mason to the 13. 20 and to the 23. 10 on the return. Punt of 67 yards by Toby Goin, as long as 72.
Well, I think the big thing is just think of all the people in football that he's coached, what an impact he's had on their lives. I meet a lot of players in the NFL that played for him. Nothing but kind words, Freddie Robinson, and that's the greatest tribute a coach can have.
Final seconds of the opening quarter. 14. McNair to George. And George about 3 to the 26-yard line, and that'll take us to the end of this first quarter. 2 interceptions lead to 2 Oiler touchdowns and a 14-0 lead. Happy Thanksgiving from Texas. You're watching the NFL on NBC. Cowboys without a first down, 2 interceptions leading to a 14-0 Oiler advantage, and Emmitt Smith showing the disgust with how things are going. Oilers open the second quarter at their own 27-yard line. 2nd down and 6. Dick Enberg, Paul MaGuire, Phil Simms, and Jim Gray at Texas Stadium. And Eddie George tackled by rookie Dexter Coakley. In case you're joining us late on this Thanksgiving holiday, here's how the Oilers manufactured the 2 touchdowns. Interception first by Marcus Robertson, and that led to this touchdown pass from McNair to Norgard. Interception, Darrell Lewis on the deflection, and McNair with a jackknife touchdown and a 14-0 lead. 3rd down 4. McNair changing plays with Rodney Thomas in the backfield now for George. And Thomas hit the backfield. Boy, shooting through is Randall Godfrey, 2nd-year linebacker from Georgia. And Godfrey, Barry Switzer feels he's such a natural middle linebacker. That's where we're going to see him in the future.
Well, once Steve McNair checks off, you see here's Godfrey in the middle. He sees the back go right behind the quarterback. It's a dead giveaway. It's probably going to be a run. He reads it, makes a good job shooting through the gap and making the tackle.
4th down and 2, and so on to punt is Reggie Roby with Kevin Mathis replacing the injured Deion Sanders. Sanders told Jim Gray to make sure his young kids aren't worried. He's hurt, but he's not hurt badly. Roby, wow. High floater. Mathis takes a chance and pays the price. Anthony Dorsett, Tony Dorsett's son. His name gets a call on Thanksgiving Day.
Look at this. And Mathis, now watch Dorsett time it perfectly. Boom. Wendell Davis is the guy that should have called number 35. He called fair catch, and he didn't.
Cowboys need to generate some offense. Aikman stays in. Goes to the sidelines. Complete to Anthony Miller, and that's good for a first down. Denard Walker was the defender. There's Anthony Dorsett. Boy, does he look like Papa, who is a four-time Pro Bowler here with the Cowboys. And Anthony went to high school here in Dallas. And then, of course, to his dad's alma mater, the University of Pittsburgh. Dorsett in his Cowboy years gained 12,739 yards, 85 touchdowns.
Yeah, he never hit like that, did he?
That's right. He was telling his dad, you couldn't make a hit like that. Of course, his dad goes, well, you can't run like me. So it evens out.
First down at the 34. Again, the sideline, same play, works again. As Miller in front of the rookie, Denard Walker.
Well, this is something the Cowboys were hoping to do today. The one thing they do better than anybody in the NFL, they throw the ball to the sideline with Troy Aikman and the receivers. Anthony Miller, he has good speed. You got to respect it. Single coverage, you have to give up those sideline patterns. And Troy Aikman, well, even though he's hurting, still pretty accurate throwing the ball to the outside.
24 yards total on those two completions. They had only 8 yards the entire first quarter. Emmett Smith avoided a blitzing backer in the hole, and Baron Wortham makes the tackle.
That was Blaine Bishop blitzing in the hole. The safety, he's up there about a half a yard from the line of scrimmage. A good job of the Oilers. Second and short, they're thinking run, they blitz.
But the Oilers, the Tennessee Oilers told us, you know, they're going to play pass on the outside and kind of double up on the outside. But I think since they realize that Troy Aikman's back and he's not moving as well as he should, they're going to come after him.
12 minutes plus remaining first half. 14-0 Oilers. First down at the 45. A couple of first downs strung together by Dallas, something they could not do in the first quarter. Aikman going long. Miller, first down at the 20. 40-yard play. Make that 35 on the play.
Anthony Miller, what happens this time? The Cowboys spread the offense. Miller's up top, but since they put the tight end, spread him out, now the safety cannot get back to help the corner. Anthony Miller, you're going to see go right down the middle, make the post move. Troy Aikman anticipates. Good job of the Cowboys, giving a different formation, singling up the wide receivers outside.
3 straight catches by Miller. And now it's Emmitt Smith for a couple to the 18. Wortham and Bowden, 2 men who are around the football consistently. Wortham leading in tackles and Bowden right there.
The Baron, number 52, Baron Wortham. He said, I like to be called a Baron. You talk about a happy-go-lucky guy. This guy yesterday says, we move around. Look at this. Not overrunning the play, getting back inside. That's just good linebacker play.
I like how he's described the Oilers defense. He says the defensive line, they create havoc. And the linebackers, we just clean up the mess. So, good job of cleaning up that town.
Well, this is the area where Barry Switzer said it's been the biggest disappointment, not scoring. Touchdown, Michael Irvin. $19 yards to Irvin, his 7th touchdown of the season. Generated off Aikman's arm, 3 completions to Miller, and then the 19-yard score to the wide receiver Irvin. Extra point by Richie Cunningham. Irvin, a big target. Aikman, a bullseye right into the 88, the front of his jersey, between 2 defenders, and the Cowboys are back in it, 14-7. And this Texas Stadium crowd alive now as Troy Aikman went 4 for 4 on that last scoring drive, 78 yards, and a touchdown pass to Irvin. Down it comes to Rodney Thomas at the 5. Thomas pushed out of bounds set of Cowboys at the 22-yard line. Go back to the Cowboy touchdown.
Identical play they ran a few minutes ago again with Anthony Miller. Michael Irvin goes up, runs, catches the ball, but what makes it? Bjornsson, the tight end, keeps the safety inside. Now Darrell Lewis, the corner, has nobody to help him. Perfect throw. Good job by Michael Irvin using his body.
And for Michael Irvin, that's a very significant catch. He's now number 12 all-time, both in receptions and in yards receiving, tying Charlie Taylor in catches and moving past Harold Jackson, number 12, in receiving yards.
Well, Troy Aikman somehow got loose between 2 series ago in this pass when he threw the ball very well. And if you play defense like that against the Cowboys offense, they will throw the ball down the field and give you a lot of trouble.
Steve McNair, he goes long. Chris Sanders draws the flag as Kevin Mathis a little too aggressive in riding him out of bounds.
You know, I asked you before, I said with Deion Sanders out, would it change a little bit and throw the ball back to the left-hand side? Well, what did they do? They went right back over there. The very first time they throw the ball is back to that side. And Mathis, here he comes on Sanders. I mean, it's a good big
on the defense.
But look at the
23.
defense. Pushing outside. That is pass interference.
Impeding the progress.
That's it. As soon as you stick that left arm out there as a defensive back in front of that receiver on a long pass, they're going to throw that flag.
34-yard penalty against young Kevin Mathis, the free agent rookie from Texas A&M Commerce. A lot of Texans on both sides of the line of scrimmage today. Kids who grew up in the state and watched this game bring to their chance. McNair picks up his own fumble, and he pushes forward to the 39-yard line where Strickland and Godfrey down him.
You can tell it's Thanksgiving Day. You know why? Because the ball comes back to McNair. Most of the times the quarterbacks don't get it.
Well,
what happens?
Well, most of the time quarterbacks fall on the ball, but this guy, he's different. I mean, you saw Steve McNair yesterday. He picks it up and runs. This is a big, thick man, and he can take the punishment and withstand it.
Picked up 3 yards on the play. Willie Davis in motion. Handed off. Eddie George. Runs right through the defender. Oh, my, does he run hard, and he's close to a first down. Jim?
Dick, unfortunately, we have some bad news from the Cowboy locker room. Dr. Vandermeer of the Cowboys just came out and told me that, indeed, it's a fractured rib for Deion Sanders. Just exactly how long he will be out will have to be reevaluated after this game, but he does have a fractured rib and will not return. Dick?
So Sanders, non-Perel cornerback, out for the rest of this game and probably for the rest of the year, depending.
Now that will change the Cowboys defense, Paul. There's no doubt.
I would imagine.
3rd and short. George to the 30. That's enough for the first down. Omar Stoutmeyer playing for the injured Darren Woodson at safety makes the tackle.
You know, Brock Marion is a pretty good safety, and he'll come up and hit you. That's number 31. On the play before this, Eddie George lowered his shoulder and hit him and knocked him back about 4 yards. And I'll tell you something, Eddie George, you know, you talk about McNair coming in the room as big as he is, but Eddie George walked in that room yesterday, and I had met him once before. This is a big man.
And loves to work out. He'll work out 2 hours after the practice is called off. He's a conditioning freak. Fake to George. McNair to Frank Wycheck. And Wycheck, who was picked by the Redskins in '93 and then released 2 years later and has become a star receiver for this Oilers team. He's moving in on 50 for the year.
You know what, Phil? It's kind of amazing. You just look at it, and the confidence in the offense of the Tennessee Oilers with Deion Sanders out. It opens up the entire field now to these guys. They figure, well, you know, yeah, we were going to test them a little bit once or twice. Now everything is there.
Midpoint of the second quarter. It's 2nd down and 4 for the Oilers. And George threw a big collision as he picks up the first down at the 15-yard line. And George now is over the 50-yard mark for the day. 53 yards on 12 carries.
Well, Dallas, they thought this was the best offensive line they faced all year. Good look at the hole that time. The Cowboys, we said it, they're undersized. When you keep them on the field, you keep that defense on the field. A big offensive line wears them down. Big hole for Eddie George.
I'll tell you, Bruce Mathis just got a tremendous block.
on Coakley. First down inside the 15, leading 14-7. Oh, hit in the backfield is Eddie George is shooting through, and a flag down is Chad Hennings. Hennings from the Air Force Academy, injured earlier this year, had a serious groin injury, missed several games. Call is against the Oilers, but the Cowboys undoubtedly will take the loss and move the down box.
Well, the Houston Oilers lined up in illegal formation at time. Jeff Fisher saw it from the sideline, tried to stop it.
Illegal formation on the offense. Number 69 was on the end of the line. That foul is declined. Second down.
Well, look what happens. I don't know who lines up wrong. Here's the tight end, 2 wide receivers. Nobody is covering the right tackle. That is a penalty.
And let me just take one step further. When you say covering the lineman, what happens is that lineman cannot be on the end of the line. There has to be a receiver or a back up on the line blocking the view from him.
Unless he's come in as a eligible receiver.
And reports, exactly, like they did for the touchdown.
2nd and 14. Near to the end zone. And Chris Sanders covered well by Brock Marion. Sanders, fastest man on this Oilers squad, averaging 20 yards a catch in his career, and his touchdown, he has 18 touchdowns, average 44 yards a catch.
You know what that tells me? He's pretty fast, real fast. And talking to him yesterday, he was so excited. He's not going to get to fulfill one of his dreams. He goes, my dream would be to catch a deep ball on Deion Sanders
and score.
Well, I think just catch it. Scoring would be a double dream.
18-yard average this year, as you saw. Rodney Thomas gets a block. Thomas hustles down to the 10-yard line, where he'll be 5 yards short of a first down. Stoudemire with another tackle.
I'll tell you, Bruce Matthews just killed Kevin Mathis, number 23, coming up to cover the screen, and that big guard got out, number 74, and just drilled him.
So 4th down and 5, and on comes Al Del Greco. And Matthews, he doesn't come out on many plays. In fact, he's the snapper on the field goals. Dad, Clay Matthews, played with the 49ers, and of course Clay Matthews, his brother, longtime linebacker. 29-yard field goal by Del Greco, and the Oilers lead 17-7 with 5:52 left in the half. I'm celebrating the services of the Salvation Army. Del Greco's kick to Herschel Walker at the 5. Walker sprints out to the 32-yard line, and Anthony Dorsett with another tackle. Well, Aikman in the first quarter struggles, 2 for 6, 11 yards, 2 intercepted. But here's what he did that last possession. 3 straight to Anthony Miller, and then finally the payoff to Michael Irvin. So the first 4 drives, Aikman with 8 yards passing, and the last drive, 81 yards.
Now, the first drives, Troy Aikman, when he was throwing the ball, would hesitate a little. The last drive, where he was 4 for 4, he set up and let the ball go immediately. So that tells me his back did get a lot better in field goal.
Emmett Smith stumbles and then works a couple of yards out to the 35-yard line. Blaine Bishop made the tackle. Barry Switzer made an interesting comment yesterday. He said he went back and looked at the Cowboys films 5 years ago, and he was shocked at what he saw.
Well, never do that, because players would be really shocked. He says, first, I noticed how much smaller and leaner my players were. Talking about his stars, Michael Irvin, Emmett Smith, Nate Newton. You know, he said Nate was an old skinny guy back then. But if that was ever true. But he says, I've noticed a difference. They're just not as fast now. And, of course, you can do that with any football team and players. But these guys, the stars, they're the ones that make it happen.
Single covered and open again. Bernard Walker, the rookie, makes the tackle inside the Oiler 40.
I'll tell you what, Troy Aikman just threw this baby on a rope, and Walker had no chance.
And with this catch, he passes Charlie Taylor, owns the number 12 spot all time.
But what happens, Troy Aikman, this is too easy. Michael Irvin down here going up. Watch everybody in the defense go to the right. Troy Aikman sees it right away. It's a blitz. The middle's open. Throw it to Michael Irvin.
First down at the 38 on the 27-yard gain. Aikman, Irvin, out of bounds. First down at the 23. Walker, they're picking on Denard Walker, who's starting for Steve Jackson at the corner.
They are picking on Walker, but one of the things Houston's trying to do is get their linebackers out into the pattern and try to take the short route. You're going to see where the number 52, you see him underneath, he can't get there fast enough. That's just a perfect throw.
How about Troy Aikman after the struggles early? He's 6 for 6, everything on the money. Trailing 17-7, the Cowboys. Emmett Smith to the 20-yard line, a gain of nearly 4. And it was interesting that the head coach Switzer would say to us that it is true. What we see is what the coach sees, that Emmitt Smith, through his years of great play and now in his 8th season, just isn't the quick Emmitt Smith that we saw even 3 years ago.
Well, really, the only, and it was interesting, he said, but the only one that's has stood the test of time, which is the easiest place to do it, would be your quarterback, Troy Aikman, because speed is just not that big of a factor for him. As long as his arm feels good, he can still be a productive and a great player.
Second down, 7. Aikman over the middle. And Scott Galbraith, and Galbraith short of the first down. Knocked down at the 16-yard line by Kenny Holmes and Lonnie Martz.
You know, this was a team, you know, in the past, when you go back 5 years, Dick, and you're in, here we are in the red zone again, and when you were down in this area, they just gave the ball to Emmett, and they ran the football, and they knew they were going to score with it. Now, in the red zone, you're not doing that.
Troy Aikman, after the play was over, he's mad at one of the receivers. I saw him going up to the guy to the play. I couldn't tell which receiver he was talking to. He did not like the route he ran. The defense must have been perfect for a chance to score. Didn't get what he wanted from the receiver.
Third down, long 2. Intercepted. It's picked off by Lewis again. His second. And he's out of bounds. Nate Newton got a piece of him, as did Emmitt Smith around the 40-yard line. Lewis with 2 today, 5 for the year, and that denies a deep drive by Dallas.
Give the credit to the defensive line of the Tennessee Oilers. What they do, they make Troy Aikman pull the ball down, reloads. Now it gives Darrell Lewis time to see what's happening. He goes in and makes the play.
Josh Evans, number 91, was the guy that got his arm up in the air.
3 interceptions for the Oilers. They lead 17-7. Another red zone misfire for the Cowboys. 3rd interception against Aikman from the 35. Rodney Thomas gets a couple of yards. Well, Darrell Lewis with 2. And Marcus Robertson with 1 interception.
Michael Irvin at the top. He's going to run in a slant. Here's Darrell Lewis. He's playing inside. Watch Michael Irvin. He knows he's inside. Good job. He reads it. He's sitting down. Troy Aikman, when he pulls the ball back down, doesn't do the right adjustment, throws it for the interception of Darrell Lewis.
Aikman, regarded as one of the most accurate of all NFL passers, have been picked off only 6 times all year. 3 in the first half today. The 2-minute warning. Last year's totals: 5 interceptions and a touchdown return. 2 today. George pulled from behind by Antonio Anderson, the rookie from Syracuse. Now Michael Irvin, during our last break, showing a grimace face and disappointment as the Cowboys appear to be driving for a possible touchdown to narrow the lead to 3. It's over some.
And I'm sure he's going to look over that last play, because Michael Irvin did a good job reading the defense on that interception, the last one that Troy Aikman threw. Troy Aikman read it right, but when he had to pull the ball down, sometimes you lose what you're thinking of when you got to readjust as a quarterback. Troy led him too far inside.
Here you see Darrell Johnston, such an integral part of the Cowboy offense last several years, drafted right behind Aikman. He's had his neck surgery. They've been together since 1989, when Aikman was number 1 and Johnston number 2, and the big blocker, and they've missed his spirit and his talent. McNair on a blitz, steps up nicely and throws it incomplete. Derek Russell was well guarded by 2 Cowboys.
Yeah, he was. I tell you, old Dexter Coakley almost got himself an interception for a touchdown.
Dexter Coakley, for a couple of reasons, he's inside today on third down. One, to spy Steve McNair, and now when there's nobody to cover, he reads the quarterback, and
if that ball was on target, he's got 6.
Kevin Mathis back as Reggie Roby to punt for the third time. Cowboys used 1 timeout in that sequence. They have 2 remaining with 1:52 left in the half. So plenty of time for Aikman to try to cut into that 10-point Oiler lead. Very high again toward the sidelines and doesn't give Mathis a chance. So to the sidelines against Mathis, but he did it straight away for Deion Sanders, to the dismay of Sanders, because he had his rib broken on the return.
Well, Reggie doesn't know who's out there.
He does.
30 yards on the punt.
Look at Reggie. Reggie looked like, isn't that Deion? I thought that was Deion.
So Dallas gets it at the 31. Cowboys, who this year are 6-6, have not won more than 2 in a row. And Troy Aikman just couldn't believe that as he went through the season. He said it.
Well, that's the reason why I said, can you win 4 games in a row? And he goes, well, we've only won 2 in a row. It's the best we've done all year long. So this Cowboy team, they make every game close. To think you can win 4 close games in a row would be a hard thing to do in this league.
Swings it out of the backfield. Actually, it's the tight end. Bjornson, and he fumbles the ball. Picked up by the Oilers. Marcus Robertson. He's in the end zone. Touchdown. Oh, my.
Well, Jeff Fisher, Dick, Paul, you were right. The last thing he said to us,
we're going to hit him.
We're going to hit. It's going to be physical on both sides. That's what they're doing. They're showing some enthusiasm, some hustle, and that's led to some good breaks for them. It led to the touchdown on this play.
I'll tell you what, this defense is really hustling. This defense has got them 17, had them 17-7, and now almost will be 24-7. Look at the hits here. These guys are just pounding people.
Bishop and Lewis applied the tackle, and Robertson with a 42-yard touchdown.
Blaine Bishop, always noted around the league for many years, big hitter. When you see him, you can't he's not a big guy, but he runs around full speed, gets in good positions, delivers the hit.
He said he learned a tackle like that from a fellow alum of Ball State. David Letterman showed him.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. Well, there's flags on play. You know what Bishop did, though? He came in yesterday. He wants to be a general manager in the National Football League. But he comes into us, and when I look at him, he's got glasses, little guy. He says, don't tell people how small I am. There he is there. He says, don't tell people how short I am.
5 yards.
Because I play much bigger.
On the 7-yard line.
Boy, does he ever.
He was an 8th-round pick 4 years ago. Played his high school ball in Indianapolis and has become a Pro Bowler last 2 years. So Jeff Fisher's young, aggressive, and you just had a sense, Phil, you talked about it when we met with him yesterday. They couldn't wait for the kickoff today.
Dick, like we said, the short week didn't bother them. They didn't care. He's got a team, he says, you know they're young when they say they love to practice.
Well,
and it didn't bother them. They were so excited about coming here, playing on national TV, and have a chance to compete against the Cowboys.
Del Greco, after the 5-yard Oilers penalty, makes the extra point. And 3 interceptions and a fumble return for a touchdown. The Oilers story. It's all time, Roger Staubach, part of the Cowboys lore. And Marcus Robertson has given the Oilers a 24-7 lead. He had a fumble return for a touchdown last week against the Buffalo Bills.
Well, you know, Phil was talking about the hustling defense. 31 of these guys on this team, on this Tennessee team, have 3 years experience or less. I mean, that is a young football team.
Del Greco to kick it off, 1.5 minutes remaining, so the Cowboys will have a chance as Walker takes it on the run at the 17. Out to the 46. Herschel Walker, tackled by Rodney Thomas.
Well, this is a combination of a whole bunch of people. Look at Bishop. Look at Lewis, 29, coming in. Here's Bishop hitting. Then watch this hit here. Here's the one that pops it out. Lewis getting his shoulder in there. Robertson picks it up, and it's touchdown. I mean, that's just team defense. Boom, boom, boom. 3 guys. And then let's let the other defensive back pick it up and go in for a touchdown. That's beautiful.
So from the 46, Troy Aikman finds his team down 24-7. 1 minute 25 left in the half. 2 timeouts left for the Cowboys. Underneath. Emmett Smith. No, it's Sherman Williams, and he scored the first down at the 45. Williams seeing his first duty today, the third-year running back from Alabama. Hurry up as it's a 2nd down and 1.
Plenty of time. 2 timeouts left. If they give you the short pass, take it.
There it is. Back to Williams in the flat, and he was about to make contact with cornerback Bernard Walker racing up. Well, the Oilers, who had a slow start, and 1-4 in the first 5 games, -8 in the turnover, and almost every coach will tell you this is the one stat that correlates to winning and losing most strongly. Turnover ratio, and it's shown there, +11. They've won 5 of their last 7.
But the thing is, your team has got to be in good position. You got to be running the football. You got to be ahead to create those turnovers, create those situations for your team to give your defense a chance to make those turnovers.
Batted down at the line of scrimmage. I believe either Kenny Holmes or Gary Walker got it.
Kenny Holmes. Kenny Holmes. You know, it's amazing when you give a guy a chance to play. Now, these people are booing a little bit, and I'll tell you what, the Cowboys are going to punt the football away.
Wow.
You can't afford to get, well, the Oilers have 2 timeouts in 55 seconds. You don't want to give them another shot. You're 17 down now.
But that's a concession on 4th and 1.
Well, it's 3rd and 1. You got 2 timeouts. I'm shocked the Cowboys didn't run the ball, pick up the first down, keep the drive going. They take a chance throwing it. They give away a sure field goal attempt in this situation.
So going to punt. Derek Mason gives ground and is caught by Billy Davis at the 5-yard line. 47 seconds left in the half. 40-yard punt. So some of the folks are going to have a little indigestion either before or after the turkey dinner today. Not happy at all with a 24-7. And for the folks watching down at Houston who still root for these Oilers, even though they've left town, they know best of all what it's been like to be in the same state with the Dallas Cowboys. Texas is a Cowboy state. Well, you Oiler fans, but boy, you got to fight your way.
It's tough to be in the league because so many people are, no matter where you go. Cowboys, when we used to play them at Giant Stadium, would have a tremendous amount of fans there. So you can imagine what it would be like to play in Houston in the same state as this team.
You know, the thing about this game, too, Dick, is when you started right at the beginning of this game, they had 4 games to play, these 2 teams, and they have to win them all in order to even think about being in the playoffs.
They need to go 10-6. Both coaches and players talked about that. McNair protecting the ball. Eddie George plows forward for about 6 yards. Chad Hennings made the tackle, and at halftime, hope you'll stay with us. Reba McEntire will be here. We'll also have our Domino's Pizza NFL on NBC halftime report with Greg Gumbel and company. All the highlights from the Bears-Lions game for you. And Troy Aikman, Emmett Smith, and Herschel Walker, along with country star Reba McEntire, live premiering the song What If, in tribute to the Salvation Army here from Texas Stadium.
Reba, now, we know she can really sing. She's beautiful. She is beautiful.
You're
on the other hand, are not beautiful. What?
You're partial to those redheads.
Oh, yes, indeed. I'm redhead. I know that. Well, there's some sad faces on that Dallas side, I'll tell you. We just had a shot a moment ago of Anthony Miller just looking out. And these guys are trying to figure out what can we do. I mean, defensively, they're doing very well. Offensively, they're not doing a thing.
This is a team that used to come out and winning was kind of easy for them. Now to win, they got to fight and claw and do all the little things right. Things they didn't have to do in the past. They could make mistakes and overcome them. This team has shown they have a hard time doing that now.
McNair with a kneel down, and the Cowboys will not call time. And you don't hear this very often at Texas Stadium. Boos sending the Cowboys to the locker room. Fumble recovery for a touchdown. 3 interceptions. 2 of those lead to touchdowns. And the Tennessee Oilers at the intermission lead the Dallas Cowboys 24-7. Thanksgiving Day thus far belonging to the men from Tennessee. Stay tuned now for the Domino's Pizza halftime report. Coming up after these messages from your local station. It's Paul MaGuire and Jim Gray. Director John Gonzalez, producer Tommy Roy. Happy Thanksgiving. Vincent Smith, he bandaged up as well on the return blocking unit for Dallas. Backup linebacker as Del Greco sends it toward the end zone, and Herschel Walker at the 1. To the 20, and gathers a sea of powder blue and out of bounds at the 22-yard line as we look at the Coors Light halftime statistics. And the numbers not very impressive except for the turnovers and points off turnovers. Dallas turning it over 4 times, 3 interceptions and a fumble, and that leading to 21 Oiler points. Only 7 first downs Tennessee, 6 for Dallas.
Well, when you look at it, what it tells you is that Dallas's defense is doing a pretty good job. Offensively, they're just giving points up.
Well, the rhythm of the game may have been decided a half hour before the kickoff when Aikman went to the locker room in pain with that back injury and started slowly. 2 early interceptions. Emmett Smith about 5. Smith with only 15 yards in the first half. Jim?
Well, Dick, a very candid conversation with Barry Switzer at halftime. He said, quote, "This is an absolute joke. It's a disgraceful performance to play football like this with all of these turnovers. Happy Thanksgiving, Tennessee. Instead of giving you a turkey on a silver platter, we're giving you away a game." Dick?
Wow.
Whoa.
He's got 30 minutes to try to at least get a drumstick.
Well, I understand what he said. I mean, you should be desperate today. The Cowboys have not acted like a desperate football team. That's got to be really disappointing to a coach when you know you have to win 4 in a row, and you come out here and you just don't even show the enthusiasm to try to win.
But we noted that in visiting with the Cowboys, including Switzer himself. First thing I wrote on my notepad when he started to talk was dazed, down, and disappointed.
I noticed it the whole time watching practice. They were going through the motions. You know, there was just no life in the whole complex. Everybody was down. Coaches and, you know, this is a team so used to success, and 6-6, they feel like it's a tremendous failure.
Bjornsson was 5 yards offside, and so that play called back.
The other thing, too, is when we talked to Aikman yesterday, and Troy came in, and he said to us, you know, you're 6-6.
Ball start on the offense, number 86, 5 yards, 3rd down.
You're 6-6, you know, he said, look at the red zone area, and that's a scoring zone area. You're going to see Bjornsson going offside here. But he said, you know, when you're 6-6, you can't make mistakes. On 1st and 2nd down the red zone, we can't do anything. We got 3rd and long. We can't do anything with it. He said we have so many penalties. 6-6 teams just cannot overcome this.
Cowboys, some big bites taken out of their personnel with free agency. Mark Stepnowski, an all-pro center, now playing with the Oilers. One of those. 3rd and 12. Bjornsson tackled at the 30, 3 yards shy of the 1st down, and on comes the kicking team for the Cowboys. Blaine Bishop, another tackle.
Man, this Oilers secondary, the one thing they will do, and it's always been a trademark wherever Jeff Fisher has coached, the secondary are always good tacklers.
Yeah, but he also said, my whole team's going to hit you, and they're doing it.
Goins' 4th punt. Derek Mason back at the 20-yard line. That's what the Cowboys wanted. 3 and out, and the penalty figuring in. Going, spirals down to the 27. Very close was Mason. Moving into the clear, brought down at the 36-yard line on a 43-yard punt. Second half, Steve McNair. Here, McNair, but his mother still calls him Monk. Fascination with tree climbing as a young man. Gives to Eddie George. George just stripping away tacklers as he's had throughout. Instead of a 1-yard gain, he gets 4.
No surprise when you look at Steve McNair. Look at this. Out of the pocket, that's where he's strong, is 4 for 4. In the pocket, something Jeff Fisher says we really got to work on. Definitely the weak spot of our offense. 2 of 7 for 7 yards. I would not let him drop back too many times in the second half as long as I got a lead, because a couple times he came close to making big mistakes.
And very fearful for the defense is his scrambling talent. 492 yards rushing this year, by far the best running quarterback in the league. George picking a hole. There is none. Gains a yard to the 41. Chad Hennings makes the tackle. McNair 6 for 11 at the half. 5 rushes for 3 yards, and Aikman really warmed up in that second quarter. All but 8 of those yards, 156 coming in the second period. But the 3 interceptions and then a fumble off a reception that led to a touchdown. 3rd and 4. Earlier today, the Lions beat the Bears 55-20 to go 7-6. Keep their hopes for a playoff alive. McNair gets away from 2 Cowboys and now throws downfield. Almost intercepted in the hands of Kevin Mathis. Couldn't pull it in.
Here's another one of those situations, Phil, that you were just alluding to, the fact that McNair in the pocket. If he's moving, he's so much more effective. That time he's in the pocket. Of course, the pass blocking broke down.
Paul, he makes a big mistake. He throws a hope shot down to the sideline. Mathis right to him. Doesn't make the interception.
That would have been his first NFL interception on Thanksgiving Day. Not to be. Mathis now moves back to return Roby's punt. Oh, he kicks him high. Not this one. This more of a driving spiral. Mathis at the 9. Juggles the ball and falls on it at the 7. Almost bounced that to the Oilers for another big turnover. Spencer George right there for Tennessee.
Well, you know, the thing about it is these guys are running down. Spencer George, these guys are coming down. Someone's got to tell him that ball hits him in the head. What he does is he takes his eyes off the ball, hits him in the helmet. Someone should tell him a fair catch.
At his own 8-yard line. Fortunate to have the ball after the Mathis bobble on the punt, and from his own end zone into the flat to Emmitt Smith. Good move by the veteran from Florida and close to a first down. Joe Bowden with a vicious tackle.
Let's go back to the punt with Mathis. Remember in the first half when he got drilled on the punt. Watch his eyes. He's going to take his eyes off the ball. The ball hits him in the head, and he is really lucky to get this thing back.
Tough day for him. In fact, tough 2 plays. He just missed an easy interception and then goes back and almost fumbles it away. Free agent rookie, but making this Cowboy squad. 2nd and 1. Again, first down across the 20 to the 21-yard line.
Troy Aikman in the first half, he starts out. His back's tight, has a hard time moving around. You can see he threw quite a few balls to the right, very few to the left. When he did, he had a couple interceptions. And early, if your back is hurting, by far the toughest place to throw the football would be across your body to the left for a quarterback.
Here comes Sherman Williams and Emmitt Smith slow getting up. We told you Bowden put a mean hit on Smith, and this young aggressive defense of the Oilers punishing Dallas today. 22 yards to match his number for Emmitt rushing this afternoon.
I think Nate Newton said it best about this Oiler defense. He says, man, they just run around and just hit people and make plays. Hard to block them up front. Hard to see what happens.
So they attend to the all-pro running back Emmitt Smith. We'll take a break. 10:43 left in the sidelines. Emmitt Smith. So they start with their quarterback, Aikman, back spasms before the game. Deion Sanders out with a broken rib, and now Emmitt Smith leaves in pain. Aikman fires incomplete. No flag as Anthony Miller stripped by Darrell Lewis.
Darrell Lewis, perfect timing, singled up outside. This is where the Cowboys have made a living for so long. Watch at the last second, he breaks to the receiver, then puts his hands on Anthony Miller, has that left hand, which is in front of the receiver. Good timing, trying to knock the ball loose.
Great example of stripping the guy's arms. When Anthony Miller's arms are on the ball, he just pulls his arms down.
Lewis has led the Oilers the last 3 years in interceptions. Is now tied for the lead with 5 this year. Played at Arizona. To the 25-yard line and just across. Gary Walker, the big tackle, drags him down. It'll be 3rd down and long.
You know, you talked about this, Phil, about Jeff Fisher, wherever he's been and what positions he has coached, and these guys have hustled. But when you look at this Tennessee defensive team, and they've created a lot of turnovers today, you watch these guys, they go to the ball in mass.
I think what's interesting, he learned a lot under Buddy Ryan. That was his first coach. And you think he'd just be crazy blitz happy. But the one thing he said that really made sense, you've got to constantly make adjustments as a coach, especially on defense.
Aikman just gets it off. Ooh, looks like a hold as Aikman throws long for Miller. Bobble, but a flag down as making contact was Denard Walker.
Denard Walker has no choice here. What happens is the ball is thrown short. Anthony Miller kind of stops to come back to the ball. Walker is looking at Miller, and when he impedes...
Pass interference on the defense, number 25. Automatic. First down.
I mean, he really has no choice here, Phil. He's looking at Anthony Miller, and when Anthony Miller looks back, watch him. He's looking at Anthony Miller. Now, when Anthony's looking back at the ball, watch. When he turns, Miller stops, and he runs into Anthony Miller.
Well, the problem was Denard Walker was beaten really badly, so he's running like with everything he's got, trying to catch up the receiver, Anthony Miller. The ball's thrown, has no idea where it's at.
32-yard penalty. First down at the Oilers' 42. The big tight end from LSU, the Cowboys' #1 draft pick this year. Martz and Robertson make the tackle, but it's holding Dallas.
Remember what Troy told us yesterday about penalties? There goes Emmett off the field.
Holding on the offense, number 79. 10-yard penalty. It remains first down.
Eric Williams.
Eric Williams, number 79. Kind of gets caught off guard. It's a hard rush inside. He's out of position. His feet are turned. And Pratt Lyons does a good job. Speed inside. Eric Williams can't adjust to it.
Well, Lyons, a rookie from Troy State of Alabama. Holmes, a rookie from Miami of Florida. Josh Evans, free agent pick of Dallas a couple of years ago out of Alabama, Birmingham. Those three young men can really put some speed rushes on the quarterback. First and long, Aikman incomplete for Michael Irvin. It didn't look like he really got all of his body into that throw. Jim?
Dick, they're taking Emmett Smith in right now. He's going to get x-rayed on his left shoulder. When we have the results of the x-rays, we'll be back, but he's leaving the game, and he will not return today. Dick?
So the injuries are very severe for the Cowboys today. 2 All-Pros, Deion Sanders and Emmett Smith.
Dick, you were right. The second half, Troy Aikman, to me, looks tight again. The last couple throws, even the long one to Anthony Miller, wide open. He probably underthrew it 7 to 10 yards.
5 minutes left in the third. Cowboys trail by 17. Down the middle, that's a good by Anthony Miller. He needed 20. He picked up about 15 of it. Bishop and Jackson make the tackle.
When you think his back is going to stiffen up on him, and then he steps up and makes a throw like this. Troy Aikman sees Anthony Miller. Anthony Miller comes down the field. He's on the top side. And watch him just sit down. And he does. That ball is right there. Nothing wrong with that throw.
Well, one way to get it loose is just keep throwing. So
Anthony Miller, whose production down this year, but he has 4 catches for 74 yards today. Prior to today, his lowest output since his rookie year. To the sidelines, complete, breaking away is Michael Irvin. And Irvin for his second touchdown, 37 yards. With 6 minutes, 11 seconds left in the third quarter, the Cowboys back within 10 if they make the extra point. Irvin, 2 touchdowns today of his 4 catches for 98 yards. Just barely hooked that one through. 7 plays, 92 yards. Aikman's final 37 yards to Michael Irvin. And big Michael Irvin's 8th touchdown reception of the year. One of the Cowboys superstars delivering. Thanksgiving Day hopes still alive in Dallas. Cowboy fans see The Oilers lead reduced to 10, 24-14 on Michael Irvin's 60th career touchdown reception. Rodney Thomas and Mike Archie deep for the Oilers. Whoa, kicks that forward, and that's a good break as Archie gets the kick from Thomas. Just drop kicked it to his teammate, and the Oilers covered about the 8-yard line. Kevin Mathis there to cover in case for Dallas.
You know, it's a good thing that Archie is looking back at the receiver and not looking down the block. Watch this. Archie is in front of Thomas, and watch, he's looking back at him. He sees it, knocks the ball down.
Must have learned that play from Joe Paterno at Penn State.
It's a good shot. Takes his eyes off it just a half a second too early. That causes the fumble.
Archie, the former Nittany Lion, making a good play. That could have been critical. Now the Cowboy fans trying to help the defense. Eddie George. He didn't help any defense. Across the 10-yard line.
You know, Dick, one of the things that you look at in a football game, when you lose your superstars, what you do, Deion Sanders is out, Emmitt Smith is out, may not return. But when you do that, it just seems like everybody on your football team, offensively, defensively, and special teams, pick it up one more notch.
Well, they have to, and the last time the Cowboys get the touchdown, the Oilers gamble. You get an all-pro in Aikman and Irvin. They see it. They execute a play to perfection. It really gives the Cowboys an easy touchdown.
Second down, 8. George, not much there. Out to about the 13. Randall Godfrey and Tony Tolbert make the stop.
And what it does, the Cowboys offense scores a touchdown. Now the defense, they got some hope. They get new life. They get a good situation. They got the Oilers backed up. Hey, you know the Oilers are going to run the ball the first 2 downs in this situation.
The reason it makes it important is if you remember in the first half, and everybody that saw this realized that the offense gave up all the points, and it was not the defense. So now if the defense stops them, and again, as you said, the offense is scoring, they've got new hope.
And now, this is always a sign that the crowd likes to see. The opposing team calling a timeout. 3rd and 5. McNair wants to be sure of the call. You're watching the NFL on NBC. 5 Super Bowl rings. Charles Haley, Tony Tolbert. He's saying, don't go for the run. Attack the passer. That was always his MO. 3rd down and 6. Quarterback draw. McNair breaks 1 tackle, puts his head down, and has a 1st down. Ran that one like a fullback.
Well, that's what he is right now. He's more of a runner sometimes than a quarterback. The Cowboys, they told us the last couple of days, Steve McNair looks to run, but sometimes before he looks to pass. That situation, I was trying to decide what could the Oilers do. It had to be something very conservative. This is what you do. Take no chances of turning the ball over. Let your good running quarterback pick up a big 1st down for you.
Hervin McCormick had him in his grasp, but he broke free. 1st down, McNair now over 500 yards rushing for the year. Eddie George moves the pile a couple of yards.
So there is a huge advantage for Tennessee because of this guy right here, McNair, being able to run the football.
He has 11 yards you can add, so he's 503 now for the season.
But the one thing, that's what Dallas talked about, don't let this guy beat us. Don't let McNair beat us. Let's keep him where we want to keep him, is in the pocket. And as you said, you showed in the graphic, Phil, when he's in the pocket throwing, he's not very good. When he's running around, he is very good.
Only 36 yards passing. They've had only 3 first downs, now 4 since the 1st quarter. Play action, McNair, Chad Hennings can't get it. Gets away, still on his feet. And slides with a 1st down at the 32. What a play by Steve McNair.
Oh, excuse me. That's what he said. Excuse me, Chad.
Well, they when you go back and you hit this quarterback, they said, this is not like hitting your average quarterback. This guy is big and strong. And this is a great example of it.
Watch Chad Hennings. I'm not talking. He gets a tremendous shot. Watch this. You want to see strength in a quarterback? He flips him down. Now watch. He adjusts, sees 1st down, gets down. You can't hit him again.
That's how he did it at Mount Olive, Mississippi, population 900, when he was pretending to be a Terry Bradshaw, he said as a kid. On first down, it's George. And this Oilers offense, and Barry Switzer said it, they'll punish you with a run. They just love to pound you, and that's what they're doing even with their quarterback.
You know, Philly, we were talking about this at halftime about Eddie George. When he hits a pile, then 3 more yards come. And when you watch him, he'll hit it. We got somebody down on defense. Broderick Thomas is down. But when you see Eddie George, when he hits at that line, it's almost like you see a stop for just a moment, and then he just takes it with him for another 3 yards.
Well, physically, there's no question who's won that battle today. The Oilers have just punished the Cowboys.
They got the running back, they got the quarterback, and the big thing is they got the offensive line that can use this style of offense.
I'd like to remind you to stay tuned following your late local news on this Thanksgiving night for the all-new Tonight Show with Jay Leno. Good to see Jay. You know, Jay, he works the holidays, and just like folks that work in sports, you know, Thanksgiving means it's a working day, working night for Jay, and you know it'll be good.
He's got to earn all that money.
Well, we have a moment. Our thanks to all the men and women on NBC Sports who give up their holiday so they can bring you the sights and sounds of this Thanksgiving Day special. Great crew, and there's no doubt in their mind this is what they want to do, to present the best in football coverage to you around the country on this Thanksgiving holiday. All the way they will be the Super Bowl team to San Diego in Super Bowl 32 in January. 4 minutes, 4 seconds consumed by the Oilers to go 28 yards. Most of those by McNair, the quarterback. Second down. George can't get outside. Dragged down by Fred Strickland.
And Dick, that's exactly what they wanted. That's how they want to run this offense. Run it, run it. Third now, 3rd and 5. They can throw a short pass. They can move the quarterback around to throw the pass. The quarterback, of course, should run for that first down.
Does he throw? Is that Dexter Coakley he throws away?
Yes.
Yeah, he just threw him away. Just excuse me, Dexter. I got to make a move to the inside if you don't mind. Whew.
Third down and 6 officially. Rodney Thomas in for George. Thomas, quick toss, and has blockers. And he drum majors it right out of bounds in front of the Oilers bench. A first down on an 11-yard gallop.
Oh, Brad Hopkins, Phil, number 72, the left tackle. Does he get out front? Here he is right here. Watch this guy get out front of this and lead this. That's a pretty good hustle by a big tackle now.
Rodney Thomas was a high school phenom here in Texas at Groveton, Texas, 2 times state champions. And counting high school and college, he scored 161 touchdowns. That's pretty good.
I would hope so.
Went on to Texas A&M, and of course it means a lot to him, and all those that grew up in Texas have a chance to perform today.
8 rushes, no passes so far in this drive. And it's interesting just to tell you what their offense is about. A quarterback draw on 3rd and 5 or 6, and then a new way to pick up a first down. A quick pitch to the weak side catches the defense off guard.
George stumbles, still makes 5, maybe 6 before Stoudemire can get him down, and the clock approaches 2 minutes remaining in the 3rd quarter.
This is a kind of a drive, Phil, that I remember you guys with the Giants. This is kind of a drive that'll break your back. If you trying to get back into a football game like Dallas did, they scored just that quick, and then here's a team that's going to run off maybe 10 minutes of the clock.
You saw George, who was 5th in the NFL last year as a rookie with 1,368. He's now over 1,200 yards with 3 to play this season. Hard-earned yards today. Nothing big, but pounding away. Play action, and then a throwback. Incomplete, and the flag is down. But after faking to George, George delayed and came out in the near flat. Penalty, Oilers.
Probably have holding on Brad Hopkins, who was trying to protect the quarterback. That's not gas, folks. That's a disgusting look on his face. I mean, sometimes
boy. I guess you would know that look.
Oh, yes, I do. Yes, I do.
Illegal hands to the face. On the offense, number 72. 10-yard penalty, remains second down.
So that will slow up a drive, especially geared for the run, and perhaps forced McNair to the pass game.
Brad Hopkins, illegal hands to the face. There it is. Right on the right of your screen. Yeah.
Twice.
Yeah, but you only get penalized once, though, on each play.
That marks it back to the Oilers 43 and brings up second down 16. 10th play of the drive. Irvin and the Cowboy offense eager to get back on the field. McNair complete to the 45 to Chris Sanders, I believe. Now make that Frank Wycheck at the 45. It'll be 3 yards shy of a first down. And boy, that had jittery written all over it.
Yeah, you thought something bad might happen. But what really happens here, the Oilers offensive line, watch it. McNair goes back, very unsure, worried about blitzers and pressure. And when he gets in trouble, he always looks for that tight end. Frank Wycheck, usually right over the middle, sitting there in the open spot, picked up some good yards.
Second catch for Wycheck, his 50th of the season, leads the Oilers. Big third down and 5. Screen it. Thomas. First down and more. When he gets it into third gear, he can race. First down.
Dick, this is not a screen. This is just a little flip back to the outside that McNair, he reads the blitz and then just pops it. Watch.
Well, it's a good job, a good call by the staff of the Oilers. What happens? They've got this play called. They expected a blitz by the Cowboys. Most of the time when a defensive team blitz, they expect the back to stay in the backfield and pick up the blitzers. That time he didn't release. That's why he was wide open.
Final seconds of the third quarter. A time-consuming drive from back inside the 10. 8 minutes used by the Oilers on this drive. Boy, Eddie George got some of his own that time as a Cowboy coming up to make a good hit. Randall Godfrey, Tony Tolbert in on the stop. And that could take it to the end of the quarter. So the Cowboys get a Aikman to Irvin 37-yard touchdown pass score quickly, 92 yards in 7 plays earlier in this third quarter. And then Jeff Fisher's Oilers just won't give the ball back. Steve McNair with a quarterback draw and a scramble, keeping it alive. Your favorite bird.
Dinner.
Fourth quarter. Oilers 24, Cowboys 14. Second down, 7 at the 31 to the Oilers. McNair fires incomplete. Willie Davis down on one knee, unable to pull it in, and a flag is down in the Dallas secondary. And signal is against Oilers.
That's about as late a flag as I've seen.
Legal use of the hands by one of the receivers downfield. When it's late, it's usually the tight end.
Pass interference against the offense, number 81. 10 yards, still second down.
No, Chris Sanders
a wide receiver.
Yeah, that's right.
No, I wasn't going to say right guard.
Chris Sanders and Kevin Smith, they both got a hold of each other.
Wow.
And, well, you make the call.
I wouldn't have made that call. That, to me, it could have gone either way.
Now, the Cowboys, they have to take the penalty because you want to get the Oilers out of field goal range, which is important.
Where you take 2 touchdowns to be beaten. 24-14 the score. Now second and 17 for McNair. Take to George. McNair airs it out for Sanders. Almost making the catch. Had he caught it, he would have been out of bounds as Kevin Smith had him pressed against the sideline.
It would have done him any good anyway because he was out of bounds before he came back inbounds. Now, was he pushed out of bounds or not? I don't know. They didn't call it Kevin Smith. But watch, he is out of bounds here. Now, he cannot come back inbounds and catch the ball anyway.
How is that not impeding with the right arm on Kevin Smith?
It is. It's just not called. No question. Sticks that right arm out, gets in front of the receiver. Well, I guess if they called it every time, Dick, we'd be here. It'd be some long games.
They have been very generous to the defensive backs this year. Third down, 17. McNair scrambling. Now throw to the sideline, complete to Wycheck. And Wycheck's inside the 20 to the 19-yard line, and that'll be good enough for a first down.
Jeff Fisher, I asked him about the offense. We want to run the ball. We want to make some play-action passes, but he says when we drop back, it's the only way we can have success. Steve McNair has got to move around, make some plays for a couple reasons. One, he's not a good pocket passer at this time of his career. And two, his players can't get away from the secondary of the Dallas Cowboys. Every time he moves around out of the pocket, he's making good plays down the field.
That's the longest play of the day for the Oilers, 22 yards. First down. This Cowboy defense has to be exhausted. They've been on the field almost 10 minutes.
You know, Dick, and one of the things, we talked to Chris Sanders yesterday. We asked him, when McNair is scrambling, what do you guys do? What is the procedure?
Yeah.
Because it's for different quarterbacks. And what Chris Sanders said is what Wycheck just did. He said, our job is to get in his vision. Whether you're going deep, whether you're coming back to him, whether you're going across the middle, it makes no difference. Just get in McNair's vision so he can see you.
Well, George just pounding 25 carries for 85 yards now. Get up slow and slow. George again driving close to the 10. It'll be 3rd and 1 as Broderick Thomas makes the tackle, number 51.
You know, Dick, that's right. How about Bruce Matthews yesterday telling us, oh, man, I love playing in this offense. Think about it. Bruce Matthews for so many years down in Houston, the run and shoot, the hardest offense there is for an offensive lineman. You're always one-on-one, pass blocking, no help. Now they run the ball, then they throw a play action, and he says, you know, every once in a while we throw a drop back pass.
Matthews said, I just wish, I'm 36, I wish I could play 10 more years. These kids are going to be really good someday.
Loves Steve McNair, but he's not a prima donna, just one of the guys. Loves his personality as a quarterback.
And George as well, not only a star running back, but somebody that keeps that locker room alive. He's a prankster, a jokester, and we could see that yesterday. He's got such an engaging personality.
What is a funny thing when we said to him, because most young players, when you talk to them and you ask them, you know, what is the toughest thing that you had to learn, or the hardest thing for you to pick up? And he said, nothing.
Off the field.
He said, off the field was my biggest problem.
Yeah, as you see, 1,200-yard rushers first 2 seasons, and that's pretty select company. Campbell, Anderson, Sims, Dickerson, Sanders, and now George. Said I got rich all of a sudden. All of a sudden, it's tough to know who my friends were. Everyone seemed to be wanting to be my friend. George, and he gets Dexter Coakley in his face, and Coakley, the rookie, drives him back. One of the rare times that he's gone backwards after the hit.
But you know, Dick, that's a good problem to have. That's just a good problem. You got to learn to deal with those things in life.
You know, it's really funny, though. He did say it to us, though, Eddie George, and he said, you know, off the field and the money, he said, you know what, I really found a lot of relatives, too, that I didn't know I had.
That's true. Big fan of Wilbert Montgomery was Eddie George. As you look at Dexter Coakley, the undersized linebacker at 5'10", but great speed to compensate. Inside handoff to Rodney Thomas, and Thomas down to the 2-yard line, struggling, and he runs hard as well, doesn't he?
Well, you look at Rodney Thomas, and when he goes in, all you have to do is really watch his legs. You can understand why this guy scored so many touchdowns in high school. I mean, he gets up a little bit slow, but his legs never stop moving. When he goes into the hole, as soon as he's hit, those feet are still moving.
Well, what'd you say, Dick? Before they drafted Eddie George, this is a pretty good running back.
As a rookie, the year before, Thomas out of Texas A&M, he rushed for 947 yards. 12 and a half minutes, one of the longest drives most certainly of this entire NFL season. 89 yards and 19 plays. This is the 20th play coming up, and McNair will come over after spending a timeout. Boy, talk about icing an offense. The Cowboys wondering if they'll ever get a chance with the ball again. That started back at the Oilers' 8-yard line, 3rd down and 2. McNair keeping the ball and getting close to the goal line, but not over. So it's 4th and inches, and Jeff Fisher, who has gambled earlier in the game, decides to bring on Del Greco for the easy field goal.
Well, here's a quick quarterback sneak, and they just try to get by him real fast. But I'll tell you the other thing, you got to take the field goal, because now you have to score 2 touchdowns to beat you. A touchdown and a field goal at 10.
They've used over 13 minutes on this drive. Started with 8:11 left in the 3rd after the Cowboys had scored, and now it's at 9:45. Del Greco, with that short field goal, gives the Tennessee Oilers a 13-point lead. It's 27-14. A 20-play, 90-yard drive, 13.5 minutes consumed to a field goal, and a 13-point lead as Del Greco kicks it off to Walker and Marion. It's to Herschel at the 4. Pushed it down at the 27-yard line. Flag is down as well. Lonnie Martz made the tackle. As you look at Cowboy owner Jerry Jones, and our sympathies go out to Jerry and his family on the passing yesterday of his father, Pat Jones. His father is credited with inspiring his entrepreneurial successes. In fact, very popular, all the Cowboys. 2 weeks ago, Michael Irvin, after the win against Washington, took the game ball and gave it to Jerry and said, "That's for your dad. Take it back to him."
His inspiration and his mentor, his father.
Doesn't make it a very easy weekend, and he'll go, of course, back home to Oklahoma for the funerals. And this is next week. They're holding on that last play.
And a 10-yard penalty against Dallas on holding on the kickoff.
Anthony Miller has been the man open throughout the game. Lined up on the left side. Aikman looks left, throws right to Trevor Williams, playing for the injured Emmitt Smith, and he's out to the 26-yard line where Denard Walker and Joe Bowden make the tackle.
The one thing about Dallas, they really don't have to be in a hurry. They've got over 9 minutes to go here. Troy Aikman's just taking the outlet pass to the pick up what you can. You really don't have to be in a hurry.
Well, what they got to worry about, even if they do score, will they ever get the ball back? That's the way he ran it last time.
Aikman, despite the painful back spasms, with 236 yards and some more to Miller, again open. This time against Darrell Lewis, and a first down at the 38-yard line. NFL season extends to the World Wide Web on NFL.com, the league's official website. Visit NFL.com for all the scores and stats, including a complete roundup of this weekend scores in action. Plus, you can chat live with some of the NFL's biggest stars. It's all on NFL.com. First down, Cowboys at the 38, 8:22 remaining, 4th quarter. Trailing by 13. Pump fake. The bomb. Incomplete. No flag. It appeared the official got turned and didn't actually see the contact as Walker and Michael Irvin bumped.
Well, shouldn't be a penalty. Whatever the replay. He never fooled on the play. Always in good position. Does get the arm out. But right from the start, the play had no chance of being caught down the field. Denard Walker was in good position. No reason to put the arm up there. The ball thrown out of bounds.
Same technique Kevin Smith used earlier, that right arm pushing the receiver toward the sidelines. Marcus Robertson on that occasion. Over the middle, incomplete. And now the flag.
They're going to call a flag. Illinois Jones, number 57. The right arm was fine. It's the left arm that you got to worry about.
Pass interference on the defense. Automatic. First down.
Another Texas high schooler, Jones from TCU.
Well, watch it here. See, the right hand is fine, but it's that left hand behind that's holding him. That's where they called it. You can see he held him the whole way across.
First down at the 40. 6:10 left.
Marcus Robinson, the safety, number 31, is now out of the game for the Houston Oilers.
That's So Key Lawson already depleted as Eric Bjornsson, the tight end, inside the Oilers 35 before Blaine Bishop can get him out of bounds.
But what that does, Dick, by the safety being out, it makes the Oilers play a very conservative defense. Bjornsson goes down the field. There's big holes everywhere. Troy Aikman sees it to the outside, leads him for the catch. This time he holds on to the ball running down the sideline.
Well, he got the matchup he wanted. He had Joe Bowden, number 58, covering on the tight end, and that's tough duty.
Bjornsson, former high school quarterback, and went to University of Washington as a quarterback. Dallas with an 8-yard average here. Number 8, Aikman, going on that sidelines. Bad back and almost gets out of bounds with another first down, a gain of 11 at the 22.
Well, the Cowboys trying to go for some quick scores. It was double moves on the outside. You saw Troy Aikman give that little pump fake. Nobody open. Good job of scrambling for a first down.
Well, and as soon as he sees all those linebackers are in coverage, Phil, and all you have are defensive linemen, and once Anthony Cook, 78, took the inside route, that whole right side opened up.
7:20 left in the fourth. First down, 22-yard line. Aikman. He hit at the 30-yard line as Gary Walker shot through from his tackle position. That's 6.5 sacks this year for Walker, former Auburn star.
Well, the Houston Oilers love to run what they call a lot of games inside. Gary Walker, number 96. Well, this time he just beats Clay Shivers, the center, number 50. That was straight on rushing.
That was a dead run right at him.
Right
Look
at
this.
Good job of getting rid of the blocker. When he came around that loop, I thought for sure they had to be running the game with their crisscrossing defensive lineman. That time he just does a good job of beating him man-to-man.
Another Pro Bowl injury for the Dallas Cowboys. Eric Williams, the big right tackle from Central State. He's down. We'll take a break. Boys down 27-14, midpoint of the fourth quarter. Ball at the 28-yard line after Aikman sacked on first down. It's 2nd and 17. Eric Williams left the field under his own power. Aikman underneath. Stumbling catch made by Sherman Williams.
Jim, real quickly, Emmitt Smith, just a bruised left shoulder. X-rays were negative. Dick.
His replacement, Williams, charges down close to the 15-yard line. That was 3rd and 11. Now will be 4th down and 3. Bishop makes another tackle assisted by Joe Bowden.
A short pass, a draw play. All that tells you the Cowboys knew all along they got to go for it, of course, on 4th down. Doing a good job of just getting in a situation where they have a chance of picking it up 4th and about 3 or 4.
But they need to make this. Eric Williams back in the lineup. Step Williams to the right in the slot. Irvin to the left, has 2 touchdowns. A throw underneath, incomplete. And no flag, broken up by Lenoy Jones. And that will turn it over to the Oilers on downs.
Never had a chance. Lenoy Jones in good position. The whole play, he sees the ball, he reads the receiver, looks at Troy Aikman. Good job of knocking it down.
Watch Jones. Remember the last time, pass interference, left hand. Look at Jones this time. Right hand. He's not going to hit with the left hand. He got that right arm in there. That's just good coverage there.
Good job. You're right, Paul. That time, that left arm, he didn't grab it, pull the receiver. The officials see it, do not call the penalty.
So now Steve McNair, just a second under 6 minutes left in the game. And this is a time to be cautious with a 13-point lead and the ball at your own 15.
I really like being cautious with Eddie George in the backfield. Huh? How cautious can I be?
Well, and the big thing is Steve McNair. I mean, that's...
There's that out of pocket, 5 out of 6, all the production when he's scrambling.
And a couple runs out of the pocket, too, which were big and really hurt the Cowboys today.
Oh, comes out throwing on first down. And it's intercepted. Does it count? Was he inbounds? No. Kevin Smith pulled it in, but was out of bounds.
You want to explain this play?
No, I can't. I can't. The Oilers, if they run the ball 3 straight times, they run the clock down. They almost give the Cowboys no chance to win. Throwing a pass, taking a chance down the field.
Kevin Smith catches the ball, but he comes down out of bounds, so there's no question about the call. But I mean, the question is the offensive call.
So it's 2nd down and 10. That stopped the clock. 5:52 left. Clock gets the ball. And the Cowboys have it at the 34-yard line. Kevin Mathis. First turnover of the day for the Cowboys. The big 4 turnovers that led to the early lead for the Oilers.
Now the Cowboys got 5:43 with 3 timeouts. Here comes Eddie George. The ball is just pulled out. I'll tell you, this is what's heads up right here. Mathis, when he falls on the football, don't try to pick it up, just fall on it.
And this is not heads up. You have the lead. If you don't turn it over, the chances are you're definitely going to win the game. Put 2 hands on the ball once you're in traffic. Eddie George, big mistake that time.
Jonte Carver forced the fumble. Pump fake. Aikman got him long. Irvin is open and can't pull it in. A tough twisting try by Irvin as Aikman hit as he delivered the ball.
Well, they've been trying these out and ups, the double pumps, the double moves by the wide receivers. Darrell Lewis, 29, goes outside. Michael Irvin goes in. Good adjustment, just can't quite pull it in.
That pass is almost perfect. It's a little bit to the outside. If it's a little towards the middle of the field, it's touchdown.
Well, it was supposed to be an out and up. Michael Irvin made a good adjustment because the defender was outside. He came inside. Troy Aikman's getting hit. He doesn't know that's happening.
5:37 left. Underneath. Complete to Bjornsson. No, it's David LaFleur, the backup tight end. Jones and Bowden make the tackle. 5 yards in the play.
I saw LaFleur yesterday. This is an undersized tree.
That's right.
Well, it's a big flower.
I can tell you that.
LaFleur.
That man is huge for a tight end.
And Troy Aikman says when he gets to training camp this year, gets one more training camp under him, he's going to be a factor in the passing game next year.
3rd down 5.
No.
At the 5-minute mark, Aikman swings. Williams. First down at the 16. Aikman hit again by Kenny Holmes as he threw that little swing pass. Timeout called by Dallas. 4:50 left. They're down to the Tennessee 16-yard line.
Here comes Holmes, and watch this. He makes a swim move. He's inside. If Troy Aikman doesn't dump that thing to the outside, he's going to get nailed.
Good bit of sprinting by Sherman Williams, and a first down at the 16.
Pass. Watch the 2 flashes. 1. Boom.
Think that really bothered him?
I don't think it had anything to do with the catch, but it didn't help him.
First down from the 16. Aikman to Sherman Williams. Fumbles the ball out of bounds, and the Cowboys maintain possession. Darrell Lewis made the hit, jarred it free.
Oh, what a great shot, Darrell Lewis. Williams turns his back and exposes his back to Lewis, and that's how that ball comes out. And he's very lucky that the ball goes out to the right, out of bounds.
Sherman Williams with some productivity, but this could have been disaster.
Watch him expose his back. Right here, when he does that, now he's flailing his arms. His arms are wide. You're not protecting the football. Same thing with Eddie George. Protect the football.
Stops the clock, and now they rewind it at 4:34. 2nd and 6. Aikman. Again to Williams. To the goal line. Fumbles, and the Oilers have recovered. Oh, my. James Roberson falls on the fumble by Williams, who is stretching for the end zone.
I just said a moment ago, did I not protect the football?
Well, this is just a case, Paul, of the running back Williams just trying to make too much out of it, going for the end zone, had a chance to go out of bounds. He cuts it inside. It looks like he's going to score a touchdown. But again, the Oilers converging on the ball, hard hitting. Oh, good job.
Just punched out by Renee Stewart, a backup safety, Northern Arizona.
Watch this. It was a good job by Troy Aikman dumping the ball off. They were trying to do a double move again to score the touchdown.
I mean, he was inches from getting the nose of the football to the goal line. And Stewart perhaps won the game right there for the Tennessee Oilers. Another error in the red zone for the Cowboys. McNair just moved behind that big center of the line with Stepnoski and Matthews and Donnelly wedging forward.
I think Stewart really, tried to do this, because if you look at Stewart's left arm, watch the left arm come in and just poke the ball out.
I think that he was bracing with the left hand. Had he not been hit, that was going to be a touchdown. He was going to get the ball to the goal line. That close. But the 5th turnover spells doom for the Dallas Cowboys, who called time here at 4:11. Inside the 20 today, and that's been the bane of the season for Barry Switzer. 4 times, 1 touchdown. Coughed it up on downs and 2 turnovers.
You know, this is the last play with McNair. When you were talking about the big offensive line of the Tennessee Oilers and the wearing Dallas down, but how big these guys are, that was an example. That ball's on the 1-yard line. The ball is now almost is actually on the 7-yard line, and that was just a thrust by the offensive line.
Yeah, that's a pretty good quarterback sneak, I'd say.
Yeah.
Protecting the ball after a fumble in the last series. Fred Strickland makes the tackle. Gain or loss of a yard on the play. Timeout, Dallas. Here are some of the turnovers that started early. Marcus Robertson, Darrell Lewis, a couple of interceptions. Fumbled by Bjornsson and picked up by Robertson for a touchdown. And now the most painful of them all, Williams within inches of scoring a touchdown when the ball was punched free, and the Oilers take over.
You talk about the red zone. The Cowboys have struggled in it. Today they had chances. They were there. The defense, they had chances to score every single time. A bad adjustment by Troy Aikman and Mike Orban caused an interception one time, and this time they're driving again. They're moving. The plays are there. They fumble on the 1-yard line.
Except for the one long drive of, 12, 13 minutes, Dallas's defense played a very good football game, I thought.
Well, they didn't lose the game. And meanwhile, Aikman over 300 yards passing. Kick out of tackles and get the first down out to the 15, and that should put him over the century mark today. 105 yards on 38 carries for Eddie George. Our Miller Time game summary: Steve McNair 81 passing yards, Aikman 315 yards but 3 interceptions. McNair, those 26 yards rushing, bigger than they look. The unexpected, of course, would be the 5 Dallas turnovers, 3 interceptions and 2 fumbles.
Steve McNair did exactly what Jeff Fisher was hoping for today. He says that he's got to create some plays in tough situations. He did that every time when they seemed like they needed it. They kept the ball or led them to a score.
Do you remember in that third quarter, when he went back to pass and Chad Henning had a shot at him and he threw him on the ground and picked up the first down to keep that drive alive? That was McNair.
Down to 3 minutes remaining, and it's 2nd down and 8. McNair and George just taking turns handling the ball or running it. First it was McNair with a 6-yard quarterback sneak. Now it's George piling up the yards. We showed earlier only the 6th man in NFL history to rush for more than 1,200 yards in his first 2 seasons in the league. George for maybe a yard. Well, it's the Thanksgiving weekend. Always a great time for motion picture conclusion of this game. Jurassic Park tonight, as we're now at the 2-minute timeout. The Oilers with the ball and a 27-14 lead against the Cowboys. Not a happy holiday in Cowboy land. 27-14. Tennessee leads it. 3rd down and 8 now. This Oilers team, number 3 in the league in rushing offense, but a lot of people overlook the fact they're number 3 in the league in rushing defense. Allowed only 4 yards to Buffalo this week, and allowed only 40-some yards to Dallas, 45 today. George hit and short of the first down. It's 4th down and 6. And here are the remaining games for the Oilers, who will go 7-6 with a win at Cincinnati, at Baltimore, and then at home against Pittsburgh. And 3 more wins after this, and they might light up a playoff calendar candle over the Christmas holidays.
And you'd like to think they'd have a chance if they can win the next 2 against Pittsburgh, Dick, because of what you said. They do a good job of stopping the run at home, even though it's not a great advantage. There's a great advantage for them down there. But
you remarked in one of the commercial breaks, Phil, about even though McNair's young, his clock management has been superb. He let it run down. He's done that a couple of times. Just doesn't call time until he looks at that play clock and uses up as much as he can.
Well, it says a lot about the coaches and how they're doing this. They're teaching this guy, and they're bringing him along, you know, the right way, nice and slow. They're moving him around. They run the football. Not a lot of drop back passes, but the little things they've taught him very well. A timeout comes, they're leading the game, he lets it go down to 1 both times. You know, that's something that he's smart enough to know, and we see it all the time, Dick. You're right. Veterans call the timeout with 20 seconds to go on the clock. You just can't do those things.
You got to like what you brought up right at the beginning of this game, what Jeff Fisher did with his team to get them ready for Thursday, playing on Sunday and then going to Thursday. You know, he said, your 2 days off are today.
Or tonight.
Yeah, tonight. That's after Sunday's game against Buffalo. And they went right to work on Monday.
Kevin Mathis for the injured Deion Sanders for the Cowboys back at the 35 as Roby delivers his kick. Taken at the 35.
Oh, Cliff.
No flag on yet. And Mathis tackled at the 47-yard line. Oilers with a win today, 3-0 against the Cowboys on this Thanksgiving. Both wins came earlier. Heisman Trophy winners, 79. It was Earl Campbell, 195 yards in a 30-24 Houston Oilers win here in Dallas. And in 1988, the Oilers used some trickery, snapped the ball directly to Mike Rozier. 83 Heisman Trophy winner all the way. Oilers won that game 25-17. And today, another Heisman Award winner, Eddie George, has rushed for over 100 yards to lead his team to an apparent victory. And yet the Cowboys on several occasions, even though down in the score, looked as if they might pull one of those Cowboy Dallas rallies that we've seen through the years. Michael Irvin with another catch in front of Denard Walker.
Dick, I thought the Cowboy offense is doing whatever they want in the passing game, really for the whole second half against this Oiler defense. The turnovers killed them, and of course the long drive by the Oilers really took a lot of air out of their offense.
Aikman goes to the end zone for Irvin, and Michael Irvin can't pull it in against Steve Jackson. And our thanks to the men and women again who on this Thanksgiving holiday brought you the action. The executive producer of the NFL on NBC, Dick Ebersol, and Tommy Roy, with Tommy Roy producing today's game. Coordinating director of the NFL on NBC and today's director, John Gonzalez. The NFL on NBC studio, produced by Ricky Diamond and directed by John Gilmartin. Co-producers Eddie Fibashoff and Billy Matthews. Thanks also to Raj Schneiderman, Joe Costanza, all the people on our support crew. Underneath it goes to the tight end Bjornsson. Stops the clock at 28 seconds.
At Jurassic Park tonight?
Good stuff.
Man, I'll tell you.
You're going to have turkey in Jurassic Park.
Yeah, you know, I was saying it, but I want to. Happy Thanksgiving, everyone.
Yeah, this is
you too, Phil.
Take a little time before going to bed tonight to think some good thoughts about someone you care about. Out of bounds and struggling to get there is Bjornsson again as Joe Bowden pushed him out of bounds at the 15-yard line. 12-yard gain, and statistically this is going to be one of the better passing games for the weekend when the weekend scores come in. For Aikman, he's got a total of 353 yards.
Well, they did hope to throw the ball today, and I think they could have against the Oilers, but the way it happened, a lot of meaningless yards, and of course as the game went on, they're forced to throw it every single down because they're so far behind.
Giveaways, takeaways, Dick, is the name of the game.
+4 for the Oilers today. 21 seconds on the snap. Aikman looking for someone to break free in the end zone. No one there, and complete the pass. Oilers 6 men drifting back to the goal line and covering the end zone.
You want to know how tough Aikman was. I mean, at the beginning of the game, didn't even know whether the guy is going to play or not. Back spasms. He comes out. He's played the entire ball game. Throws for over 350 yards. Ran down an interceptor.
Yep.
I mean, at the beginning of the ball game, this is a tough quarterback.
Took a couple of pretty good hits too.
Oh, it took more than a couple of good hits, and that's probably what took his mind off his back. He was getting hit so hard and driven into the ground, he forgot his back was hurting.
12 seconds remain. Lonnie March making the tackle, and Sherman Williams, and that will take it down to the gun, and the Tennessee Oilers have won 6 of their last 8, and this young team thinks it can be a factor yet in the 1997 playoff picture. 27-14.